Very warm welcome to all of you for the monthly course demo webinar. We host this webinar every month to give you the real-time perspectives about our embedded systems course, how the course is going to get delivered, especially for the online students, and what are all the ways and means you can apply for placements, and what are the latest happenings in the placement with respect to Emertxe, etc. So that's one major portion of the webinar. Having said that, we always tell in our every webinar, right? This particular webinar is more from a more of an educational in nature. So where we are going to share even broader perspective about what is happening in the job market and where are the trends that are heading towards. And I know we are all hearing many things, right? Recession and things like that. So how does it look like? We will talk about all those parts. Okay, so my request to all of you is that it's not only we are going to talk about the course, we are going to talk broader about this industry, how you can have a broad, bright career in this industry. So by the end of the webinar, we sincerely hope we will equip you with the necessary information, the right set of information. Often I've seen people take decision based on wrong information. So then the whole decision will go wrong. So we hope you take the right decision for your career as you move forward. So that's the goal. With that note, can I get a go ahead from all of you? Shall we go ahead and start the webinar? And there are questions coming up from Rashmi, Srinidhi. Are we getting certificate for attending this webinar? No, this is not a webinar where we give participant certificate. We don't give. Rashmi Ramesh asking, I have zero coding knowledge and embedded knowledge. Can learn this, able to do the job? Obviously, yes, Rashmi. I'll share you some success stories so that you'll be able to, relate to that. So Sai Arun is telling, yes, sir, we can commence the webinar. Can I get some more? Go ahead from all of you. I need some energy in the room so that we can start the webinar. Okay, Rishikesh is telling, yes, sir. Okay, Shafiullah, Vamsi. Okay. Go ahead, sir, says Akash. All right, great. So let me go ahead and start the presentation. Is that a slideshow? Okay. So very good evening to all of you. Very warm welcome to course demo and placements journey webinar, which we host every month. So today is 25th October 2022. My name is Jai Kumar. I'm part of Emertxe's core leadership team. So this particular webinar we host every month to give you the necessary information and the happenings in the embedded and the core industry, so that you are given with the necessary information, so you go and take the decision for your career, right? So this particular video is getting recorded. My team will do minor edits and then they will share you this week itself. So in case some of you join late or some of you need to drop out due to network connections, or if you feel that this particular video will help your friends or somebody else, so feel free to forward. Okay, so this link is very much open and we keep those videos in our as a part of our YouTube channel. Okay, so thanks for all of you to connecting in. So let us start with that. So let me introduce briefly about Emertxe, our organization. So we are an edtech company. We have been in this particular education field for more than 18 years. And we have three focus areas with respect to technology, embedded systems, IoT, and full stack web development. So in terms of problems or the challenges what we are facing, solving is two. One is employability. As you all know, India has become a country where there are large pool of engineers are getting graduated from various colleges. The statistics says the number will reach 31 lakhs of engineers by 2024, in which very minuscule percentage of them are having the employability skills, right? So they have good academics and they would have scored well in their exams, etc. But when it comes to really employability, do they have the necessary skills to get into the job, or today's job or tomorrow's job? That's a question. So largely it is because the engineering in India today is taught in a very theoretical fashion. So that's where we offer immersive 6 months program in embedded systems, IoT, and full stack web development in these three areas. Any one area students typically choose, and they improve their skill set and then they go for placements. So that's one challenge or the problem we are aspiring to solve. The second part is the journey doesn't stop here. So what we also see is that even students who are getting placed via campus interviews. Statistically, we could see around 85, 90, or even sometimes 95% of the companies that are recruiting in colleges today, they are from IT services background, right? So some of them who are aspiring to get into the core electronics embedded, they end up joining these service companies because because of compulsion, or they have to get into a job, right? They need to start earning. But after a few years or few months, they feel that the job that they're doing, it is not matching their aspirations or their career goals. At the same time, they cannot leave the job, right? So that's where we offer the same program in the upskilling mode for people who are working in non-embedded domain. They could be in the IT, or some of them get into business roles like sales, marketing, or some of them will get into teaching and research, etc. So they take up this course, improve their skill set, give a facelift to the resume, or give a different look and feel to their profile, and then go on and achieve their goal of getting into core industry, right? So that comes into upskilling. And organizations also increasingly giving importance to skilling their employees. So we offer custom corporate training programs for organizations. As you all know, knowledge has become the power today. So basically, organizations are very keen to ensure that their employees are appropriately skilled, and then they continue to learn on their job. Right. So we work with various organizations in doing the upskilling programs as per their company's needs also. So that's what we do. Three technology areas and two type of problems we are trying to solve. Okay. So whatever the training program that we do, whether we do it at a fresher level or whether we do it at a corporate level, we take the approach of the picture that is given below. As you can see, the picture is a hand making a pot. So we make our learning hands-on or a practical. So we maintain a 70-30 ratio between practical and theory, because as you already mentioned a few minutes back, one of the key reasons why employability challenge exists, because the engineering is taught in a theoretical fashion. So when you wanted to get practical, you cannot get just like that, because you cannot learn without making your hands dirty, right? If you want to make a pot, you need to make your hands dirty. So that's where we get into this hands-on code mode, and then ensure that you're skilling and then getting ready for the jobs today. I'm seeing already a lot of questions coming in. Suma, Ashok, Kumar, and Ranjita Jadhav. Just hold on, guys. I will stop at appropriate intervals and take questions. Okay, you can keep typing. No problem. All your questions are reaching me. So as a first phase, we will give you an introduction and placement updates, what is happening in the placement side, especially given whatever we are hearing, what are the trends that we are seeing, and what are the updates that we have month on month. We run it every month. You can go and see in our last month's webinar also. Month on month, we keep sharing our placement data in an open and transparent manner. So just before that, let's a brief about our leadership team. So we three are part of our leadership team. Mr. Maas is the founder and the managing director of Emertxe. He heads the organization. And my colleague Mubin, he should be joining us soon. He runs the technical section of this webinar. He will walk you through the entire technical aspects, how the course is going to get delivered technically, how you can seek doubts, and then how you can get assessed yourself, get ready for the placements, etc. So he's going to show a demo of how it is going to get delivered. He will be joining shortly. And myself, Jay Kumar, as I said, I'm one of the core leadership member in Emertxe. I have more than 20 years of work experience. I graduated from NIT Warangal in the year 2001. Started my career with a startup called Ishoni Networks. Worked there for about 2 years. Then I went to HP Hewlett Packard, where I spent about 7.5 years working on HP's inkjet firmware. Primarily focusing on networking and connectivity areas of the printer. I worked on various layers of connectivity networking, the device driver layer, the middleware, application, etc. After spending 7.5 years, in my last assignment of HP, I was leading a team. I was a project and program manager for an innovative project called Cloud Print, where we are trying to connect the printer directly to the cloud. So that was my last assignment with HP. And after HP, I quit, and then I went into Huawei Technologies. Huawei, as you all know, which is a Chinese telecommunication company, where there is an initiative going on in Huawei where they want to unify all the products in Linux platform. Okay. Linux, as you know, it's an open source operating system. It is the most popular operating system when it comes to embedded systems. In fact, our entire course is built around the concept of open source and Linux. So there is an initiative going on where they wanted to, integrate, and they wanted to, customize Linux for various product lines of Huawei, right? So I was a senior manager there, handling a team of about 60 people, consisting of senior engineers, lead engineers, project managers, test managers, etc. So where my team was entirely responsible for delivering the customized solution of Linux for various Huawei's product lines. So I was there for about 3.5 years. So first company showed only 2 years, then 7.5 with HP, and about three and a half in my third company, Huawei. So 12.5 years I spent with these three organizations. Then I thought, going further, working in a big company is not something which I was getting motivated to. I decided to do really what I really like, primarily working in the space of education, technology, and in the entrepreneurship space. That's when I quit my corporate career and joined Emertxe. And in Emertxe, I primarily handle the placements portfolio and some of the business related responsibilities. So that's what I do about my background on Emertxe. Mubin, are you there in the call? Um,
Yes, Jay.
okay,
Hope you
Mubin,
can
can you?
hear me.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mubin. I work as a technology head at Emertxe, and I'm a computer science graduate. I passed out my engineering in 2003, and since I passed out, I got an opportunity to work in Emertxe as a software developer, wherein I worked for close to 1.5 years at Emertxe. And after that, I quit Emergey and joined Novel. And after Novel, I again joined HP. That's when I basically met Jay Kumar. And I was part of a team which used to develop a cross-platform printer uh, application, as well as I also got an opportunity to work on the Linux print scan fax device drivers. I spent around 4 years at HP working as a software developer and also as a team leader. I quit HP and joined Emergy as a full-time entrepreneur, wherein I was part of a team which developed embedded applications for industrial automation as well as agricultural automation. So Emergy used to work on products, embedded products, and we pivoted from like product development to training after a few years. And since then, I've been heading as a technology head, managing a set of technical mentors who are responsible for training fresh engineers as well as working professionals in different um, training programs like embedded systems, IoT, and full stack web application development. So today I'll walk you through how the courses are delivered at Emergy, and I'll also walk you through the learning management system which we use to deliver the courses and which you can access to you can also access resources as well as also get an idea of how the support ecosystem is provided in the LMS and WhatsApp groups. And you can feel free to ask any technical questions related to how the course is delivered or any specific questions related to how the training is delivered, you can ask. So, and with this, I would say welcome to the webinar. Over to you, Jay.
Thanks, Mubin. Thanks for your introduction. So let us proceed, guys. I think I'm getting a lot of messages. I am getting a message from Vivek. I'm getting a message from Shafiullah, Satish. Just keep them coming, guys. As I said, I will logically stop at, when I'm getting a message from Rajashri, Lakshmi Shruti. Yes, I'm getting a lot of messages, right? Keep them coming. Let me cover the first portion, majorly on the placement updates and what's happening in the job market. That I will cover. Then second section will be more of a technical delivery, how the course is going to get delivered, that Mubin will talk about. And again, I'll come back and talk about the placement process, how placement as a process works, and how to start the application process, and when you can start attending the placement, etc. Right? We'll cover that also in detail. Right? So, as I said, no question is wrong question, no question is stupid question. I am really happy to see so many long questions are getting typed. Very happy to see that. That means you have a lot of things to ask. We'll ensure that we answer all your questions today. Sometimes the duration of the webinar goes longer than what we typically plan. Most of the times, I would say, but we ensure all the questions remain answered. Okay, so we'll take care of that. Okay, please keep them coming. All the questions. Really appreciate. So let me move on to the next slide. Okay. So as mentioned, right, we have been working with core placement companies. These companies work in the embedded side of the product. As you can see, right, the product primarily consists of the hardware and the software part of it. So these organizations either involved in one of them or both of them, but all of them do work in the embedded software side of it. And these companies can be categorized into three buckets largely. So one is like what we called as an MNCs, multinational organizations who have got basically branches in multiple countries, and they also have their India Development Center, right? Companies like Qualcomm, NXP, Robert Bosch, Sharp, Borgs, right? They all have multiple countries, multiple offices. They have their India offices also. So that's one set of companies where they hire our students. Then the second, in the similar category, we also can put India-based big companies. For example, companies like Tata Power, Tata Elxsi, then Tata Advanced Services is there. Then L&T Technology Services, L&T Smart World Solutions. Because these organizations also creating new entities under the Tatas and L&T brand to cater to the new age requirements. For example, Mahindra, as you all know, they created an organization called Mahindra Electric, who is exclusively working on electric vehicles, right? So these type of organizations, even Tech Mahindra, they do hire our students, right? So some of them, when you see the logos like Tech Mahindra or even HCL for that matter, or L&T for that matter, they are working a services business model, but when they hire our students, they hire for their embedded vertical. For example, L&T has got a huge presence in the embedded space, right? Where places like Mysore, Bangalore, Chennai, Baroda, right? They have huge facility in further embedded. So that way they hire for our embedded vertical. So this is one category of companies, MNCs and India-based big companies. Then the second category of the companies, what you call mid-sized companies, who may have a few hundreds of employees, right? For example, Chelsea Communications come under that category, who either work on a section of embedded system or the entire product development they focus on. And the third category of companies come under the category of startups or the small organizations. As you all know, India has become a land of startups. A lot of startups are coming up in the application space. Definitely in the system or the embedded space also, a lot of startups are coming up mainly in the areas like robotics, automation, industry 4.0, and of course the electric vehicle, which I mentioned a few minutes back. A lot of startups are hiring, right? But irrespective of the size of the organizations that they hire, they all hire for their embedded positions, right? Embedded engineer positions is what they come and hire our students for. You can see the logos here, and then these logos are growing. Okay, we have about 1,200 plus companies which are participating in our placements. So month on month, we have 100 plus companies that are hiring. I'll shortly show the statistics of the latest statistics of replacement, right? You can see any logo. I think some of this slide, this logo I might not have updated, like because the list keeps growing. But this is the what you call a snapshot of what the type of companies that we work with and who are hiring our students, right? So that's about our company. And let us talk about the job trends, right? Thankfully, we are out of COVID. Normalcy has pretty much resumed because I take metro train to reach home in Bangalore. Even they used to mandate masks there, so now they stopped mandating there also. And pretty much I see people, we are all coming out thanks to the festival season like Diwali, right? So the point I'm trying to bring in is the post-COVID has resulted in a lot of job improvements, right? There is even though there are a lot of news that we hear in terms of the world heading into recession or what, or there is a what do you call the Russia-Ukraine war that is happening, and even you can see the country like UK, they're struggling to keep up with their leadership, right? And one of the reason why the leaders are not able to keep up because of the challenge that they face with respect to economy, right? So there are certain ifs and buts are there as we speak about media is airing out a lot of news, and we can also see to it that some of the service organizations who have made campus offers, they are either postponing the joining date or even for that matter the terminating offers, right? So we can hear such things, but be rest assured that is not true with the type of job that we are talking about. Okay, these jobs are more highly technical in nature, these jobs are not going to vanish overnight. Okay, neither you will see even the when the market is at peak, you will not see that it's growing exponentially, and then when the market is down, it just suddenly crashes. You will not see that much variation. These jobs, as you can see, companies are building real embedded products. They make long-term investments both in their hardware and software, and especially when I talk about hardware, when they make investment in terms of chipsets and boards, right? That's quite a long-term in nature, right? And even to release a particular product to market, any embedded product today, let us say a mobile phone, it takes quite a long period of time. It's not like few weeks or few months. It probably takes few years to release a market to the market. So companies make long-term investment uh, when it comes to the jobs that we are talking about. So there is absolutely nothing to get concerned about the news that we are hearing. So from our side, we are only seeing that jobs are only getting increased, right? So what are the reasons? What are the reasons that we are seeing that jobs are going more? So let us take top 5 reasons. This are according to us what we observe in the job market. But before we get into that, I'm already getting some questions here in the window. But let us define what exactly we mean by core, because people have I talked to a lot of students, right, like in our various platforms. People are confused what exactly we mean by core job, right? So let us take any smart system today. Smart system could be anything. It could be your smartphone, it could be your smart remote control, it could be industrial automation system, robotics, anything you can think of. Any smart system that you can think of, it consists of two pieces: software and hardware, right? Again, as I already said, software, you can categorize that into two major buckets. One is what you call as an application software and a system software. So application software is a software which is more closer to the user and very much away from the hardware, right? So that's what you guys call it as an IT software, right? Anything related to, let us say, mobile applications, web applications, etc., etc. So those type of software is nothing but an IT or an application software. So whatever we are talking about as an embedded software is nothing but a system software, which we also call as a core software. So core software means it works very closely with the hardware, pretty much away from the user. For example, aspects like device drivers, bootloaders, embedded middleware, networking stack, or any other connectivity stack, etc., comes under the core software. Right. Similarly, when you talk about hardware design, hardware again consists of two pieces. One is a board design and a chip design. The chip design is what we popularly known as VLSI, very large scale integration, and then integrated circuit, and then the board design, where you assemble the chip as well as with all the peripherals, and then you make it as a board out of it. Right? So this is what, at a high level, any smart system that you can think of today is made of. So when we say core job, we are referring to the core system software that gets into it. It is of course software, but that software is very different from the application software that you are going to, what you guys known as IT jobs, because those IT jobs are very generic in nature. Okay, which means to say that the skills can be obtained, or it can be trained faster, or it can also can be obtained faster. For example, I always quote in my webinars. So just look at the number of training institutes that you have, to learn, let us say, Java, right, or Android application development. Even if you go to a small town, you'll find an institute which teaches Java, but you will not be able to find any institutes or any online, online learning company like us or any similar technology like embedded systems, right? Because it is not easy to teach, it is not easy to learn. It's quite complex because quite challenging, I would say, because you also need to keep the hardware in your mind whenever you are building this particular software, right? So that's the focus we are going to talk about. What do you mean by core, right? And the core software today touches every domain that you can think of, be it retail, environment, industry, smart city, education, healthcare, every industry that you can think of. Okay, you can always come up with multiple use cases for every industry. For example, just think about how our medical things are getting transformed due to technology, be it remote patient monitoring, robotic surgery mechanisms, etc. Right? Think about how our home is getting smarter, be it a smart control systems, app-based control systems, predictive alarm systems, etc., etc. Right? The home is getting automated, right? Thanks to these embedded and IoT technology. Retail, education, we all have seen in the COVID, right? How education has transformed into an online-driven system, etc. Right? So that way, there is no domain that this particular software is not going to touch. It is pretty much everywhere, which means to say it is going to open up lots and lots of opportunities as we move towards the future. And talking about jobs, you can see these logos, a snapshot of logos, companies like Qualcomm, NXP, Honeywell, Samsung, LG, Infineon, Microchip, Hoover Schooner, Sharp, Vitesco, Toshiba, HP, Continental. So these companies are typically what you call as the core companies. And these companies predominantly they used to hire from tier 1 engineering colleges, right? Especially company like Qualcomm, for example, HP, where we come from, right? So they will have a set of predefined campuses where they go and conduct campus interviews and then hire students, right? Typically, there will be IIT, NIT, or if you take a specific state, there will be certain colleges which are very popular in nature due to the ranking. Okay, so they go to only those campuses or colleges. So what we are seeing, one of the trend is that these companies are looking to hire beyond NIT and IITs. Okay. The reasons are couple, two reasons. One is if you look at NITs and IITs, there's a lot of focus from them to go and work for startups. As I already mentioned, India has become a country of startups where going and working for a 10 people company, 50 people company has become quite normal and it is accepted by the society. Right, earlier and all, if you go and tell your father or mother, I'm going to work for a startup, they may not like it. They say, oh, why don't you work for a big company? When we were graduating, working for a company like Wipro, HCL, or Infosys was a big deal. So nowadays it has become an accepted phenomenon. That's reason number one. Reason number two is because these companies are having lot of projects to complete, lot of work that they have to complete, and they're not able to hire or they're not able to fulfill the requirements from these NITs and NIITs. At the same time, they cannot go to a tier 2 engineering college where majority of you are graduated from, because tier 2 engineering colleges are very good when it comes to generic IT skills, right? When you talk about specific skills like embedded systems, IoT, or any core technology for that matter, they cannot go and recruit from a tier 2 engineering college. So that's where they look for channels like us, right, who are taking the tier 2, tier 3 engineering student, skilling them up in the embedded or IoT space, making them job ready. So that's the reason why these logos, right, which typically goes to these top-notch engineering colleges, and they don't go to tier 2, tier 3 engineering colleges, they come and hire from our organization. So that's trend number one. So trend number two, as we already been talking, again, there's also some controversy these days about people moonlighting, etc. Right? So work from home has become pretty much an accepted phenomenon during the pandemic time. Companies have become comfortable to get the work done remotely. Suppose, assuming you are a company having your branch in, let us say, US or UK, somewhere in the Europe, right? Earlier, even if you're not comfortable to get your work done from a country like India, now those companies are getting more comfortable. Because why? Because pandemic has made the remote working possible. Even though companies are pretty much, you know, become part of the hybrid workspace, right? For example, we from Emertxe have been full time into operations from last, I would say, June, July, right? But even our other organizations are pretty much back to working 3 days a week. And what I'm hearing is from January 2023, they are all expected to go 100%, right? So, but having said that, the people who are want to get the work done from India, they're comfortable because they got used to the remote working. So more work is moving to India. Okay, that's the second reason why we see them increasing the job. Third one, there is a lot of these new domains that are coming in. For example, electric vehicles. Right? Even though the four-wheeler electric vehicle is a big deal, but India is becoming a very good destination to do R&D for two-wheelers. Right? India or any Asian country that you can see, we are more popular or more friendly for a two-wheeler based country rather than a four-wheeler based. Right? All of you are college graduates. Right? You all very proud to own a bike first than a car. Right? So India has got an opportunity to innovate in the electric vehicle space, where newer electric vehicle companies are coming, already released the product into the market, like companies like Ether Energy, Ola, etc. And I already mentioned that companies like Mahindra are creating their electric vehicle organizations to basically cater to this particular opportunity that is coming up. Right, that's one major phenomenon. Second thing, embedded systems are the one which has become source of data. For example, when you talk about machine learning and artificial intelligence, etc., where you are going to operate on a particular data set and you produce certain insights and meaningful insights so that we can take an action. For example, I'm having a car, right? I will get an alert saying that potentially when I should give my car for service, right? Or potentially when the parts are going to get really worn out, where I need to replace a particular part, for example, tire, right? Or any other parts in the car, right? So this involves a lot of sensors and a lot of embedded pieces to come together and generate the data. Okay, so machine learning operates in the data set, and these sensors and embedded devices are the one which are source where the data is getting generated. So that way, because of machine learning and artificial intelligence, in fact, companies are making chipsets suitable for their, suitable for what do you call the AI-driven world, right? They want to do more processing, more, this type of image processing, etc., at the hardware level itself. So it is driving a lot of jobs further, right? And third, we all have learned hard way during our pandemic is about the importance of automation. Okay, how do we reduce the human importance? So robotics and any other similar automation is taking a huge priority across the industries, which is again generating a lot of jobs. So these are all the three reasons, according to us, which is resulting in more jobs. And this diagram, you guys know better than me. In terms of industry academia gap, we have been part of a lot of conferences, right? So even though there is a lot of discussions happens about industry academia gap, and then we need to work towards mitigating it, the academia pretty much remains the same. Students are graduating, parents are concerned about their son or daughter's career. They already invested probably 7-8 lakh rupees in giving good engineering education to their children, and they're not finding them getting into a job, right? So this gap is a huge concern for the entire industry, right? Which is generating one of the reasons why these things exist. Last but not the least, I'm not sure you guys are observing these things. In the post-COVID world, not only for software, India is emerging as a destination for hardware as well. So when you talk about hardware, there are two things as we spoke in the initially. One is the chipset part of it and the board part of it. Okay. We have been doing some amount of board design, or I would say assembly type of hardware production in India. But today we are not only doing the hardware production, we are entirely doing the chip production also, right? And a recent example being 5G. I don't know how many of you saw the 5G launch and how the Indian service providers, right, Jio, Airtel, and Vodafone Idea are taking up the entire 5G thing, right? So the entire technology, both the hardware and software, getting built in India. And in the post-COVID world, people have got their own geopolitical challenges with respect to China, etc. So which is again acting as a advantage for India, right? And Indian government is trying to take advantage of it, basically giving a lot of what do you call the government subsidies and opportunities for organization to set up hardware. So the more hardware is going to come, definitely it's going to drive more jobs, even at a lower levels. For example, diploma, ITA level, it's going to drive a lot of jobs, and definitely that will also percolate to embedded systems jobs. So India is no longer a country where you can get certain things done for a cheaper price. It is also emerging as a very strong R&D center where the products are going to get built, and we are going to basically sell it throughout the world. The electric bike is one simple example that you can relate to. So these are 5 high-level trends. As I said, one is the companies are looking, especially core companies are looking to hire beyond IIT or NIT. Second one, we saw the work from home, where the companies are getting done remotely, has become quite comfortable. And then third one, we saw the new age domains like electric vehicle, machine learning, robotics are driving for more jobs. Fourth one being industry academia gap, and fifth one being the what do you call India becoming an electronics hub. These are the 5 trends which are driving more jobs, right? So you may be thinking, sir, what is this? Looking like a Gyan session here, right? How does it matter to me, etc. So let us quickly switch our focus towards how this is benefiting to students as Emertxe, right? So how this is benefiting to them getting opportunity, and potentially if you enroll, you will also get these benefits, what our students are already enjoying, right? So let us take how this trend is translating into ground level advantage for our students. Let us move on to the next slide. So this is a slide. If you are in case you are attending the webinar for the second time or third time, you will be able to relate this graph. This graph I show in every month, which we update the data what has happened in the last month. As you all know, we are kind of in the month of October. 2022 has been really good in terms of placements. As you can see, every month we have 100 plus companies participating in placements, okay? And consistently from the beginning. Okay? And in September we had 115 companies, which even got better. And October so far we have done 73 companies. Right, we still have another week to go, and due to Diwali, there's been companies are on off, right? Staffs are on leave, HRs are not able to schedule interviews, etc. So that's where we say these 3-4 days a little lull period for the companies, and even staff are a little bit on a festive mood, taking leave, etc. Right. So we expected that to change in another day or two, and we expect this to go up definitely beyond 100. So every month we have 100 plus companies participating in placements, right? And when we talk about these companies will give more weightage to skills. Okay, I already showed you a set of logos. Why do these companies come to us? We are not IIT, we are not NIT, right? Well, then why do they come? They come here because they get a particular skill, right? Or the students who are trained in that particular skill, they're able to hire. So that's the primary reason why they come and recruit, and they recruit repeatedly. I would say more than 80% of our companies are repeat recruiters. They come and recruit again and again and again. Okay. And not only that, since they give more importance for the skill and whatever the student's capability, they're okay not to give much weightage to your year of pass out, your percentage, your previous experience, etc. I saw a lot of questions have come in. I think Niranjan has asked, I come from a marketing and sales fields. How does my prospects look? Somebody else said, I'm coming from a teaching background, or I'm coming from a hardware background, or I have a career gap. We'll talk about it. I'll show you some success stories, what our students are achieving. Somebody took a career break, especially as a lot of girl students, they take career break due to marriage, relocation, etc. And some of you take a career break because you want to try for IAS or any other public service exams, or what do you call, any other similar government exams, but it would not have come through, right? So those students with a gap also are able to get opportunity and get a very good career break through us, right? Either people who are working, they want to come to embedded domain, or people who are not having any job and they're on a huge break, 2-year break, 3-year break, 5-year break, right? Even they're able to resume their career by capitalizing on the opportunity that is available in the screen. The reason, as I said, let me repeat, companies are coming to us to hire a specific skilled people rather than going for a year of pass out or percentage. In fact, 40% of the companies who recruit from us say that they really don't care. You can be from any year of pass out, and you can be having any percentage in your engineering. For example, we even place a student from 2011 pass out. About 10 years back, the student has completed the engineering, we are able to get them placed, right? And some of them are working professionals. They're able to achieve a transition their career into embedded. I'll show you some success stories also, right? So this is how the opportunities are coming up for our students. So if a breakdown, let us say 100 companies are coming, let's say 2021 working days are there, assuming that we're working for 5 days a week, etc. So per day we need to schedule 4 to 5 companies, which is again not feasible, right? 4 to 5 companies scheduling and students attending interview, that is not feasible. So what happens is we work with companies and then get the schedule. That is why we also show another graph called the number of drives. So these numbers, what you see in the screen, you can see there. So this is nothing but the number of drives that happen in a particular month. As you can see, the graph in the blue color are from the 2020, and especially if you look at the March, April timeline of 2020, that is when the first wave of pandemic has hit, and then all the work from home, everything started. And second half, we saw decent recovery. Then the 2021 was better. You can see the red color numbers there. These are all actual number of drives that happens on a particular month. And the green color bars are the towers are the one from 2022. As you can see, there's been spectacular growth this year in terms of opportunities. And in the last month itself, in September, we have had 44 drives that has been already conducted. Out of those, 114 companies have come, simply because we cannot schedule, as I already told, right? So what happens, whatever the companies are coming, we try to schedule as much as possible. Okay. For example, this month, let us say, these 3-4 days companies are not able to conduct their interview because of vacation, staff not available, student not available, right? So we're not able to schedule. So let us say another week later, the month gets over. So what happens to the remaining companies which has come? So they automatically move to the next month. So that way, scheduling will keep on, working in a rotated manner. So that's what you see in the green color towers. It's been really good with respect to placement opportunities for our students. Right now, again, let us go one more level down, saying that okay, sir, you showed me two things. One, we saw, for example, what the high level trends are. Five trends we spoke about. Then we saw how these trends are translating into opportunities for our students, our Emertxe students who are taking the embedded systems course either on the online mode or on the offline mode. But are they getting jobs, right? Are they getting what type of jobs? Okay, what type of companies that they're getting placements, right? So I always show the data in two categories, a snapshot. One is students who we call freshers, who are either from a 2020, 2021 pass out. 2022 also there, because 2022 I still not count much because they came and joined us only in the month of, let us say, July, August. It's hardly 2 to 3 months they're into the course now. They'll take at least 1 or 2 months to really the 2022 season to take off. But yeah, students are who joined us earlier. I'll talk about it. So they're all getting jobs. So that is one category of students. But then the second category of students are the ones who are from 2020 and above, like 2020, 19, 18, 17, those type of students, one category, and who again can be subsequently categorized into their whether they're currently working, who want to get into the embedded system job, or they're in a career break due to many reasons that we discussed. So let us walk through the recent success stories. Okay. Again, this is a snapshot. If you guys want the complete data, it is available in our website, in our social media. We keep it updated as best we can. But this is what I'm showing is a snapshot. So let me just show the snapshot. As I said, let us take this um, freshers. So these set of individuals are the ones who got placed in the last few months or month or so, and they're primarily from a 2021 or 2022, or some of them are 2020 batches. Okay. So this is what it is. You can see students like Balaji Madhur. By the way, Balaji is a mechanical engineer. Okay, he joined us and he's an online student. He got placed with an Aptiv, which is a automotive software company for a 5.5 lakh salary, right? Then we have Aravindan, who is again a 2021 pass out, who is a mechanical engineer, by the way. He got a premium job with Chelsea Communications. He got a salary package of 11 lakhs. So incidentally, his sister is also our alumni. About 4 years back, she studied with us and we placed her in a company and she continued to work there. And she was inquiring course up for her younger brother. And she said, sir, I'm a mechanic. I'm from electronics, but my brother is from mechanical. How are the job prospects, right? I said, no problem. Right? Companies are not bothered about branches. In fact, she herself surprised, sir, what are you saying? In my time, we used to tell that only ECE, EEE or any circuit branch students only need to come. But how come? Then we said, even companies are okay to waive off the branches also. They're not bothered about era pass out. They're not bothered about percentage. Now they're not bothered about branch also. So that way, Aravindan is a younger brother of our another student, a girl student, who could is from a mechanical engineering. And by the way, please note, these guys when they join our course, they all pretty much at the same level. Okay? Just because somebody comes from electronics, you would have studied some subjects more extra, but when it comes to practical hands-on coding or core skills like embedded, pretty much they're at the same level. So even our mentors, when they start any batch, any subject, they start everything from level 0. But all they did was they just followed the mentor's instructions, built on assignments, projects, improved their skill sets, right? Represented in a very nice resume, and then they're able to go and crack such opportunities. So this is a story of Aravindan. Similarly, we have a student like Jatin. Jatin is a 2022 pass out, and very interesting about Jatin is that he joined our course while he was in the college itself. Okay. He was in the final year. I think last year, sometime I don't remember, or early this year, he joined our course, and then he attended it online. And recently, he got, I think, in the first or second opportunity that he got, he could get placed with Honeywell. Right? There are a lot of similar students who, especially as you know, right, in the final year, You don't have much subjects to study, theoretical subjects, projects work will be there. It's pretty much, relatively lightweight. So he utilized that final year, built his skill set. So by the time he graduated in 2022, right, he was way ahead in the job market competition. So that way we could see success stories by students like Jatin, right? Sorry. And then we have similar students like, Shalini, who is our offline student. She is from Government Engineering College, Bargur. She could get a job with LG for 4.8 lakhs. Similarly, Kiran, who is our offline student from JSS Science and Technology University, Mysore. You get a job with the Continental for 6 lakh salary. And Sumitra, who I guess is a classmate of Shalini from the same college, Government Engineering College, Bargur. She could get, she's our online student, as you can see, right? Shalini came for offline, but Sumitra attended online. She could get a job with NXP Semiconductors for 7 lakh, right? So here there is no barrier as such in terms of online or offline. In fact, our online course is really, really effective. Mubin will talk about it because some people would have thought online learning as a stopgap arrangements during pandemic. Anyways we cannot go out, so we'll do online. That's not the case, right? Our course is really effective, where somebody comes here and then studies from our center in Bangalore, or you're going to sit in your home and study, you will get the same result, right? So students like Sumitra are typical example of this success story. And we are also been strongly recommending to students to go online, because online saves you a lot of money. Okay? Because when you come offline, especially if you're not from Bangalore, right? If you're going to come to Bangalore, stay in a hostel or a paying guest, your travel, food, accommodation, all your living expenses added up, right? That goes quite high. Okay. And thanks to the recent inflation, the food prices, everything has gone up quite significantly high, right? So on the other hand, our online course, you can sit at home or your hostel, wherever you are, right? You can learn it at your comfort. It gives you a phenomenal mentor support and learning support mechanism, where whether you sit in Bangalore or you are sitting in your hostel or you are paying us or your hometown, it's not going to make any difference as far as the training is concerned. Not only about the training, with respect to placements, right? Recruiting companies today, more than 95% of the companies are recruiting online only, even though they all working 3 days, 2 days from office. When it comes to selection process, be it written test, be it interview, and then HR interview, releasing the offer, everything happens online. Of course, yes, once you're selected, they ask you to come on board, physically these days. That also used to happen online, but that has changed. Now companies are pretty much functional, especially when you're new joining, you have to come and report and then only join. So you have find all the combinations here, online, offline, right? And then somebody's from a city, somebody's from a town. For example, this particular place called Bargur, it's like a kind of a rural place near Dharmapuri in Tamil Nadu, right? Similarly, people come from all sort of smaller cities and towns, and we are very happy because they are able to learn from quite far away places, and still they are able to achieve their dream of getting into such core companies. So this set of students, as I said, they come from 2020 or 2021 or just started 2022 passouts, right? Now, as a type, right, a lot of people are asking, sir, what about me, right? What about the older batches? Let me show you. Again, guys, this is a snapshot. We have a lot of success stories. Just go and check our social media or our website. We'll feel a lot of such success stories coming on a daily basis, right? Now, let us say, for example, another set of students, they come from either they're working in a IT company, but they wanted to get into core. Okay, this is what we call career transition, right? We have a very recent success story. In fact, Kanteti Satyasai, Krishna Tej, pretty long name. Let us call him Satya. So Satya actually broken the records earlier. If you guys remember, I don't know how many of you see that in our website. We used to tell highest salary as 27.5 or something like that, right? This is happened very recently, where Satyasai is able to break that barrier, and he's able to get a job of 28.75 lakhs, right? So now the reason being, he's working in TCS, and Qualcomm considered his previous experience also, and then they fit him at a higher salary, right? And we also having freshers who have no experience and still they're cracking Qualcomm. The recently, I think last month I showed, this month I am showing in the upskilling side, right? So this is an example of where somebody from a non-core coming from a service company, they're able to get transition into a product core company, right? This is a phenomenal achievement, as you can see. Similarly, we have other students. So these students, whatever I'm going to show now, they are passed out from 2020 and above, right? 18, 19. In some posts, you'll see we also mention year of password, but pretty much they're from older batches, right? So here we have a student, who got placed. Arun Ashok. So he got placed in InnoMinds. He's our offline student, right? For a salary of 6 lakhs. Then we have Venkat Ramanan, who is again from a 2019, as you can see, right? We put the stamp or that year of password information also, who attended our offline course, and he could get placed with NXP for 8.5 lakhs. I think he had some previous experience compared to Sumitra, which is shown in the previous example, who got started with 7 lakhs, but Venkat had some previous experience, so they gave a higher salary band. So that's where Venkat could start with 8.5. And we have students like Sushma, similar to the previous example of Shalini, right? Because she could also get started with LG, but for the same package, 4.8 lakhs. And she's our online student, by the way. Even though she's from Bangalore, she's taken our online course. Look at that, no? We're talking about remote students. People who are from Bangalore also, they're taking this course online, right? And we have another student called Srivatsa. Srivatsa is currently a working professional in, I think, so I showed his current company. So he's currently working, I think it's in the process of exiting and joining this company. So he could crack Huber Schuner, which is again a Switzerland-based, networking company. He could get a package for 14 lakhs salary. And a recent success story is a 2019 pass out, right? And other student, like for example Saujanya, could get started with a from an application domain to an automotive safety domain for a salary of 4 lakhs. And not only that, students are able to resume after a career break. As I said, right, students, especially girl students, I'm seeing, right, they take break mainly due to relocation, marriage, or they have some personal challenges, etc. Even that applies to guys also. But you can see here Abhirami, who is, she had got a 4 years of career break. I think she's a 2018 pass out, and then she could come. And by the way, she's an online student also, right? She came, she took our course, and she could get placed it same, right? NXP Semiconductors, right? So the point I'm trying to say here, guys, is that you will hear all sort of permutation combinations here. Students who are coming from online, students who are coming from offline, they're from a recent pass out, they're from older pass out, they're working or they're not working from a different domain, or they're in a career break, right? You can take any permutation combination as long as they focused on skill building, right? They followed the instructions, whatever our mentors are told. They worked on improving the skill set, thereby making their profile more impressive. They are able to achieve the goal, whatever they come here for. Okay, again, let me repeat, this is a snapshot, because in webinar I cannot show entire data what has happened in the last 1 or 2 months. Then the whole webinar goes only to go through the student data. This is a snapshot. As I already told, the entire data is open, available, transparently available in website and our social media. You can check it out. Okay. So with that, I would like to pause. As I said, we covered 3 portions, 3 subtopics now under the job market. We covered the high-level job trends, and then how the job trends is basically result in opportunities for our students. That is 100 plus companies per month, around 70, 60, whatever drives per month, right? Then subsequently, how when the opportunity is given to our students, how they're able to produce the results, right? And you can see, right, when you are going through these college names, right, they're not coming from very hi-fi, some well-known IIT or something. They all come from humble, simple background. Just because they were very consistent and they put their effort, they're able to get the results. My challenge to all of you, okay, whether you join the course or don't join the course, that's a different story, right? That's not the idea that we are hearing. Whatever you do, you focus on skill building, the success will automatically come to you. Okay, all right. So let me pause here and take questions, and then subsequently we move on to the technical section. Mubin can take over. So let me see how many questions we can take. Okay, let me take some water. Let me go bottom up. Are there any instance of uh, uh, people with career gaps get opportunity placements with greater than 10 LPA package? I mean without work experience. Of course, yes, Akash. Lot of examples. Maybe you've not seen our previous webinars. I know you can see company like HP, company like Microchip, right? They all have got without any work experience, right? They all come from either fresh out of college or they're coming after a career break. Getting them 10 LPA is also quite normal. Many students achieve that. Okay. Then Niranjan is telling, hope Akash that clears your doubt. Just say yes, or if you have more questions, just add more. Then Niranjan is asking, sir, I'm from marketing background, working the last 2 years. Can I take the course and get placement opportunities? Of course, yes, Niranjan. Okay, we get students from various background, right? Like they get from like a teaching background, marketing and sales background, IT software background. We students come from all sort of background. So you coming from marketing and sales will not hamper your opportunities. But the challenge is you need to come here and work, right? Focus on skill building. Definitely opportunity wise, absolutely no problem. Okay. Hope that clarifies, Niranjan. When the company starts hiring, right? Suma is asking. Suma, just hang on, because there's a process that we follow in the our courses. As I said, it's like a 5 to 6 months course. So where after certain module you can start applying for placements. We'll cover that in the next section, right? When can I start my placements, right? Just hold on to that thought. We'll come back and answer in the next section. Okay. Rashmi Ramesh is asking, so sir, may I know about full stack web application course details? So Rashmi, that full stack web development, even though I mentioned in the sorry beginning, we have kind of paused that due to pandemic, but we are very actively to work on to relaunch it. In fact, our website and everything getting changed now, to update few course related contents. So if I talk about it now, this will basically go out of scope of today's focus. So just watch out for our website. You will get to know more about the full stack web development course details also. Okay, just watch out for our website and social media. Then Pavan Raj is telling, sir, I'm in Bosch right now. I'm in BMW ECU software integration. Okay, I'm a fresher. How is my career in this? I'm looking to join Emertxe. What is a good role I can get? See, Pavan, as you can see, right? Bosch is also one of the recruiters, by the way, and we have done a lot of trainings for Robert Bosch also. What I understand, typically when you talk about BMW ECU kind of integration, so you're doing more of an integration. Maybe you want to switch over to more of a coding or device driver development type of a role, or some kind of a firmware development role, IoT firmware type of a role, where you involved in a lot of coding and stuff like that. Hope that's what you are aspiring for. Yes, you can get it. Okay, a lot of companies are looking and they're hiring it. And one thing, it's quite contrary if I say that. Okay, since you are Bosch, you'd agree with me. Because when I talk to the other set of students, they're all saying, "Sir, I really want to get a job in Bosch, right?" Whereas you are telling me, "Sir, I'm working in Bosch. Can you help me to get a job outside?" Right? So two sides are the same coin, right? Specifically, look out for mid-size and startups. Okay, I already told about this point, right? They are the ones who really do from the scratch development, right? When they do from the scratch development, definitely there are a lot of coding where you are going to build the entire feature or the product from the scratch, right? Yes, you'll get ample amount of opportunities to transition to a role within embedded, where even not only that, we even have students who come to embedded. They come with an embedded background, but they're doing more of a controller or some kind of SCADA type of profile, but they wanted to get into Linux device drivers protocol development. They achieved that. So yes, you can watch out for such specific profiles and apply. Don't be generic, because you're already having a job in Bosch, right? You're settled in a big branded company, right? If you wanted to make a change, watch out for the company, watch out for the profile, then you apply. But yeah, opportunities are plenty, no doubt about it. I hope that's clear, Pavan. Did that answer your question? Okay, all right. Thank you, sir. So Preetham is asking, so please say something about online embedded systems internship and what day to start internship. See, Preetham, again, internship is not today's discussion. Internship is altogether a different topic. Okay, if I explain that, since similar to the full stack web development, right, the other participant will get offended. But since you asked it, just a brief, right? Our free online internship, we're accepting applications till October 31st. That's only for college students, not the one who are looking for a job. So after that, you can go and check on our website. We already published when the written test results will be out, when we will be starting internship and all. Please do check out our website. The dates are already published there. Okay. Hope that's clear, Preetham. Emergxe is not sending a registration link of companies. Not sure, Ayush, what do you mean by registration link for companies? Are you an intern? Are you part of our intern group? That's where we don't send a registration link. Ayush, can you just confirm? Because for all our students, placement students, anyways, I show the group also, they do send the registration link. Otherwise, how do we get applications, right? Okay. All right, so let me go further. Sai Arun is asking, how does the placement work? Can we continue to sit for companies even after getting placed in a certain company? Oh, it's an interesting question, right? So one, I think there's already a question about when do I start placement? That will come back and answer later. Once you are, once you start applying for placements, right? So what we have as per our policy is that you can apply for as many companies as you want. Okay. For example, a student attending 2 interviews, 3 written tests are quite normal in Emertxe's students' case, right? You can apply for as many companies as you want, but we always say whichever company gives you the first offer, you need to go with that. We don't encourage multiple offers through us. I hope that's clear, Sayar. Say, for example, you get a place with a salary of 6 lakhs, right? Then later a company come 10 lakhs. We don't allow you to apply for a 10 lakh rupee company. Again, the reason are two. One, for the recruiting companies, we tell them that all our students will join. We don't allow any offer rejections because they come to us because they have a very high trust on us. I don't know whether you heard we saying that 80% of the placement companies are repeat recruiters because they trust us, right? So one of the commitment that we give to the placement companies is that whenever they hire any Emertxe student, the student will join. So what happens when the double placement happens? You reject one company that is not taken well from the company side. Point number one. Point number two, we don't want a scenario where one student in Emertxe gets 3 job offer, another student doesn't get any job offer. We don't want to have a scenario. We want all of you to go with 1 job offer. So what happens when you apply for multiple companies? You can attend interviews parallel, you can attend written tests parallel, but the first offer, whichever company comes and gives, you need to take it. And there is no force for you to apply. Suppose so many companies are coming and you decide mentally saying that, sir, I'm only interested in salary of some CTC and above. I will not apply something below. No problem. We are not going to force you. But once you apply, you need to take up the job offer that comes first. Hope that's clear, Sai Arun. Sai Arun. Okay. Thanks for the clarification, right? Let me go down. Sajan Said. Sajan is asking, my passed out branch and here is triple E in 2021. Can I get opportunity? Of course, Sajan. The previous bunch which I ran through, they're all from 2020, 21. They're all even from mechanical engineering, and we even place students from aeronautics, civil engineering, etc. Right? Absolutely no problem. You will get ample amount of opportunities. Okay. Then Uganda is telling. Hope that's clear, Sajan. Okay. So Uganda is telling, sir, I am currently working in EV startup as a fresher. So this course is useful for automotive domain. Means, okay, one second. There's a big question that's come up. Useful for automotive domain means it covers CAN, LIN, or communication protocol. You got that good question. Okay, good to know that you're already working in a EV startup. So I'm sure you're getting a lot of exposure about building a real embedded system, right? So our course, Uganda, like it is independent of the vertical. But as you can see, embedded has got a lot of vertical, like automotive, robotics, IoT, networking, transportation, etc., aeronautics. A lot of verticals are there. So what we do, our course ensures that you are ready for any of the subdomain companies. If even just look at the companies you are hiring, one can be a automotive company, one can be a EV company, one can be a telecom company, right? So you are ready for the skill set expected by all these companies. That is point number one. Point number two, specifically talking about protocols, right? In our microcontroller modules, we do cover I2C, SPI, and CAN. Okay, I don't think we are covering LIN. Okay, these three we cover as a part of our controller. As a part of our Linux internals networking module, we cover some of the networking protocols. For example, TCP/IP stack, how it works, UDP, socket programming, etc. So that you can build a network applications. Okay. Hope that's clear. Yugandhar, can you just confirm? So thank you, sir. Then Lakshmi is asking, are the internship paid ones? No, it's free. Okay. Neither we are going to pay you anything, nor you need to pay anything. Okay. Then, sir, is will be better for an EC student. Say, so of course, right? I'm talking about mechanical engineer and civil engineer. Why not for an EC engineer? Go for it. Ayush Memoria, I don't know placement links. I'm not getting the context, Ayush. Okay, please add some more details. I'm not getting your question. Okay. Sai Arun is telling thanks for the clarification. How much the cost of this course? Asking Mailavarappu Vamsi. So Vamsi, our team of counselors will be the right people to answer your question. So because there is a different course fee for our online and offline, and time to time they'll be running certain scholarship programs as well. So towards the end of the webinar, I'll show you their contact details. Probably you're already in touch with some of them. They'll be the right one to understand your specific case and then explain you how much would be the fees. Okay, hope that's clear. Then Satish, yes, is telling, sir, good evening. Please tell me about placement support for an experienced person with more than 5 years of experience in a hardware domain. What sort of companies take experienced persons? And I'm looking for IoT domain and kind of companies. That is question number one. Then question note, I don't have a prior experience in IoT, right? Then again, one more question. Specific, please share me more insight about machine learning and IoT related companies and job opportunities for non-freshers. 2015-16 pass out, such as the opportunity. So Satish has given an essay. Okay, thanks Satish for asking. Whether really appreciate, right? So this question is a multifaceted question. So let me answer one by one, right? So you are from a older batch. You know, I am assuming you are a 2015 or 16. Probably you have 5 years experience in hardware, right? Now our course, as I already told in the beginning, it focuses on the embedded software side of it. Okay. So our companies would expect you to develop a firmware and embedded software, or test it, develop it, maintain it. That's the role they're looking for in across all the domains we spoke about, right? Now, when they recruit you, definitely you'll get opportunities through us, no doubt about it. As I already told, 100 plus companies are coming, right? And 40% of them telling no era password criteria, right? Your 2015 to 16, I don't see any problem. You're getting a fantastic amount of opportunities, right? But when you apply for the role, question comes in, how would my 5 years of hardware experience would be considered, right? So that we will leave it to the hiring company. For example, let us take the student in the screen, right? Satyasai, right? So he's from TCS. How his previous 1 or 2 years of experience considered by Qualcomm? It is up to Qualcomm, right? You can transparently mention your profile and then see how they will value your 5 years of experience. So definitely, since you're coming from related hardware field, right, which is related to embedded system, I am positive that they would consider. But how they would consider? Would you consider as a 5 year hardware engineer, or a 5 year embedded engineer, or they will say, I'll consider your total experience into by 2 or 60% I'll take. That formula and that particular approach purely depends on the companies. Okay, so what I understand, what we commit to you, that we commit to you that opportunity to transition yourself wherever you are, whether you can be hardware or a TCS engineer coming after a career break, you can transition into embedded software or a core software. That is our commitment. And what type of companies come, how do they consider your experience? That purely up to the companies. We can facilitate. If you have some specific queries, we can ask the companies and clarify you, no problem. But consideration of your previous experience is purely up to the hiring company. But in most of the cases, they do consider whatever I mentioned, the Satisai's experience, even though he's coming from TCS, the previous experience are considered. If TCS experience can be considered, why not a hardware experience? Definitely it can be considered. But let me repeat, again, it depends on the company. But I'm quite positive about it. It's not an easy question to give a point by point answer, right? But this is how overall it works. Satish, hope this clarifies your question. Please type yes, or if you have further questions, please type in the below. Okay. Then another big question comes from Parthiv Kamath. There is already question from Yugandhar Sajan, saying thank you guys. Glad to know that your question got clarified. Let me go to the next question. Parthiv Kamath, again a large question. Let me read through. So I've been placed into two companies, Mistral Solutions Embedded Hardware Design Role and Act Fibernet management trainee, and then core role in networking. In Mistral cities is low. Oh my God. Okay, and Act it is almost double than Mistral. My interest was always in company like Mistral, which are into core embedded domain. But given the financial condition of my family, I am looking to join Act FiberNet, but I am not sure about the growth in the Act. So please give me some insight about how Act FiberNet in terms of growth, and also, sir, where do you think I should go to should do Mistral and Act? Please do answer my question, sir. Oh my God, this is a very tricky question, Parthiv, right? Uh, Neither I have deeper insights about ACT or any organization for that matter. Okay, so but I can give you some general guidelines, right? From the look of it. Okay, I don't want to get Mistral specific and Act specific, right? Otherwise, you guys will record this and then make a meme out of it, right? Always I need to be careful when I speak online these days, right? So whether it's a, Mistral or Act, what I understand at high level is that Mistral is into more develop, because Mistral, I know, like long time back they used to build VxWorks operating system. During those it was a company called Tornado and things like that. They've been there in this cold field for a long period of time. Okay, Act, what I understand, is more of a field role, right? Where you need to, go and configure networks, etc. Because I don't see Act is doing any R&D as such in India, like Mr. Right? One is an R&D role, another is a field role. This is how I'll put it. Right? Now, which one is good? Okay. But one thing I'll tell you, whichever role is good and bad, you keep it aside. But one thing I'll tell you, do not decide based on salary. Even though your family situation, everybody has got their own, challenges and limitations. I agree. I really acknowledge and I really, empathize with you. That is purely your personal situation. But what I'm saying is, do not judge a company based on CTC. I always tell my students in my every monthly meeting, right? There's a saying, do not judge a book by its cover. Right? Do not judge a book by its CTC. Because what double the CTC is today, maybe 5 years down the line, will it give you the same type of opportunity? We don't know. Rather, you start little low, but that gives you a 5 year down the line. Probably it may happen that in Mistral you are earning, or any other company you are earning double than what you are making app. That can also happen. So I would say that you do your deeper analysis, because I'm not here to tell whether company or company B. This is totally a bouncer you put me across, right? One is you do necessary analysis about the role. Go back, since it is a campus hiring, that's what I understand. Through your TPOs, reach out to the HR, get a clarity about role. Yes, role means what you will be doing on a day-to-day basis, and see whether you have the passion in that role or not. If you have the role available to you and you're really passionate about your role, go for it. Okay, whether it's Mistral or Act, don't bother about it. Don't bother about which is happening, double the salary, triple the salary. Because if you choose the right role and you have a passion behind it, magic will happen. In a matter of 2 to 3 years, people double their salaries. At the same time, I'm seeing people who get into a good salary and then they saturate. It's not that the role is bad or the company is bad. The person is not having the necessary passion, right? And just before Diwali, right? Virat Kohli has showed all of us what passion is all about, right? Even at the most impossible situation, how a passion can win us games, the heart can win us games. It might sound little theoretical. Practically, if you ask me, summarize: one, get more details about the role, see where your passion lies, and choose that one. My request, humble request, is don't choose based on salary. That you can do it later. Hope that's clear, Parthiv. This applies to any company. It's not only about Mistral or any company. Sayan is telling, sir, what is the suggestion working in a product-based company or a service-based company with respect to embedded domain? See, guys, it's again similar question people ask us in webinar. Should I go for services or products, right? See, the services or products is more about the business model of the organization. Suppose, like, say, what is a service or what is a product? Let me give a very simple example, right? Suppose I am working on the phone. I'm a phone company, right? I'm building the complete phone on my own. I would say I'm a product company. Rather, I would take this camera and I outsource this camera firmware embedded software development to another company. Let us say OnePlus, right? OnePlus outsources that work to L&T. Then you say it's the same thing as services, right? So this is more of a business model. But what matters to you is the role that you're going to play. Previous question, what Parthiv was asked, right? When you get up in the morning and go to a company, what is the job that your manager is going to give you, right? That is what is going to matter. So, for example, I told in the beginning of our webinar, right? People come and ask, sir, what you are telling? L&T hires your students, sir. Okay, people say, what? Tech Mahindra hires your students? Yes. Tech Mahindra, HCL, they have got a huge embedded base, by the way, friends. They have few tens of thousands of people working on, in fact, HCL is known for having embedded verticals. I'm talking about way back 25, 30 years. Okay, embedded, HCL is one of the pioneers in the embedded software. But nobody knows because later point in time they went so big in IT, but still they have few tens of thousands of engineers working in embedded alone. So my request is do not see a product or service company. That is more of how the company serves its customers, right? See when you are going to an office, what role you are going to play. Okay. Again, you can see somebody was talking about in Robert Bosch. Robert Bosch is a product company, but you can see one student is not very, very motivated about the role that it's playing. On the other hand, what did I advise him? I tell him, okay, go and work for a mid-size or startup. Choose a better role. Always choose a role that's going to play the important, not the company brand name, not a CTC. If you choose on the role, then this company and CTC will chase you later, right? But if you choose on anything else, you'll lose. So choose on the role. Don't bother about services or product company. These are all business models. As an engineer, that or an entry-level engineer or a senior engineer, focus on your roles, responsibilities, and what you're going to learn. Hope that's clear, Sayarun. Which 4-week course is suitable for a fresher beginner? I recently applied for a 4-week embedded systems online course. What it still be thought? See, Arav, why? So I don't know what you mean by 4 weeks of embedded systems course. Who is offering this? I cannot comment on that. I cannot comment on that. Which provider you are talking about? But based on our experience, right? We takes at least 6 months for a student to get reasonably comfortable, be it a beginner or their, even somebody's experience, but the experience is not in embedded, they're also beginner only, right? So for those people, we would say that at least 6 months time is required because, as I told in the beginning, embedded systems is not a skill which can be taught and learned easily. I told an analogy of Java Training Institute, right? You will find probably hundreds of training institute on Java, any other similar technology, testing course for that matter, where people do it in 2 months and they get a job, right? It's easy to enter, the entry barrier is less, so will be your career path. But here it takes time to build your expertise, but you're really set for a long term. When I say long term, next 20, 30 years, this technology is going to change. It's not going to alter. So I'm not sure. I'm quite skeptical about that 4-week. Even if there is a 4-week, that may be an introductory course that may not give you a good placements. That much I'll tell you. Okay, because to get a really a placement oriented thing, rather I put it this way to students, right? Okay, you spend 4 years in engineering. Okay, with Emertxe you spend a 6 months. Right? That's another same. I tell you, at least spend 6 months. Whether you do it this course through us or any other course, spending 6 months would be a mandatory according to me. Hope that's clear, Arav. Akash is telling, sir, kindly differentiate between the IoT and embedded system with respect to industry demand, better placement opportunity. Oh, it's again a very tricky question. Not a tricky question, very interesting question which requires a long answer. Let me briefly answer because we're already 8:20. Movin is waiting for his session. Right? IoT is a very broad paradigm. Okay? You can any technology that you think in this world, you can put it under IoT. Say machine learning, you can put it under IoT. Web services, you can put it under IoT. Quality of service, you can put it under IoT. UI development, put it under IoT. Mobile application development, you can put. Data, you can put. Big data, you can put. Machine learning, you can put. Data analytics, any technology, embedded, any technology that is we can think of can be put under IoT. But what I suggest is, even there in that, you need to decide where you can build your expertise. Embedded systems is part of IoT because we also offer an embedded system course, right? Sorry, IoT course, right? Where we do is like embedded systems is a part of IoT and focus on one area. Because I think Friday I had a webinar. Just look out for a video. It should be available in our YouTube channel very soon. I said, do not bother about building expertise in all the areas of IoT. It's not possible because it wraps up all the technology you can think of. Focus on one area, either embedded side or in the application side. Okay, but as a broad umbrella, IoT gives a excellent opportunity, but you will be either working on this side, the IoT embedded side, or on the application side. Hope that's clear, Akash. Okay. Rashmi is telling, Rashmi Ramesh, one of my friend is working in embedded recently started startup and she's feeling it is very difficult. Can you suggest how you can help her? Okay, Rashmi, I don't know how we can help her, and I don't know what difficulty your friend is facing. But yeah, we are in the ecosystem. We can definitely look into it. What exactly she's facing challenge, whether it is in form of hiring or whether we can give you some trained engineers or whatever. Just ask her to reach out to us. I'll share our counselor details. Just ask her to reach out to us, explain her challenges. Let us see how we can help her. Okay. So without knowing the challenge, committing that we'll help or we will not help is not the right decision. Ask her to share the details. We'll see how we can help her. Yeah, Rashmi. Uh, then yeah, Satish is explaining. Says Varsha, what is a bond company is expecting? Okay, again, bond is a very long topic, but bond is a minimum period that they expect. Okay, that could be anywhere around 2 years, maximum goes around 3 years. From our recruiting companies, around 10% of the companies ask for bond. Remaining 90% won't ask for bond. So, I hope that's clear. Rahul is asking how many mechanical engineers place is basic electronic concept required for placements. So Rahul, I don't have a statistics of how many mechanical engineers we placed, but I can assure you that whichever non circuit branch students came, whether it came up aeronautics, civil, mechanical, in all the branches, I'm telling all the batches, we are able to place all of them. Okay, if you ask me, do we need a basic electronic knowledge? Yes, and whatever you studied in a first year engineering, that is good enough. On top of it, more important is what you learn in our course is a major factor. Okay, all the students, whatever I showed you, right? A mechanical engineer getting 11 lakh salary, 6 lakh salary, that too with core automotive company, networking company, they really focus on our course. Okay, not what they studied in engineering. Yes, some basic electronics, what you any branch would have studied some electronics, right? Some programming. Okay, that helps, but focus on our course. That's more important. Okay. Parthiv says, thank you so much, sir, for your insights. It means a lot. Thanks, Parthiv. Okay. Sir, can you know from which month of training companies get hired? Sai, Sharanya. Sai, just let me wait, Sharanya. Just wait for some time. We'll show you the timelines and modules. I would say thanks, sir. Thank you so much for this, Parthiv. Okay. Arav White says, oh, it was a project-based internship course, I suppose. That Emertxe website itself. See, Arav, I think you're getting confused here. Yeah, that is like a 4 weeks or 1 month. That is a free internship program. Now I'm getting the view, right? So that program, that particular internship is just to give the college students a feel of what does it take to learn practically. Please note that does not come with placements. Okay, that is for college because we've been getting so many requests from engineering college. Do something for our students, build the skills for our students. Get them hands on. That's when we went and started this online internship that is for the college students. That is nothing to do with what we are talking today. Today we are talking about 6 months placement oriented course, that is 1 month online internship program, only to give an exposure, and there we will not give placements, don't worry. Okay. Sai again is asking, sir, will the companies post CTC and JD while coming for a hiring? Yes, Sai, I'll show you after the last section. I'll open up our Google group and show you. Every company specify all the information transparently, right? What is the company website URL, company profile, academic details, which module you should have completed, what is your CTC, your work location, everything will mention. Everything can mention. Only when you're comfortable you can apply, otherwise no need to apply. Okay. Aravi Siling, sir, I just said I had a response intimating about a test I had to sit. Okay, I think you're talking about internship, Arav, thing again and again. You will get notification after 31st of October, right? Please watch out from our website. After 31st, we'll send a communication about the written test. Okay. Thank you for responses, Akash. Okay, sir, says Rashmi. Can you please answer my question? I already registered for the embedded program. Vivek, I think your question has gone up. Let me check. Give me a minute because I picked up some point. Vivek, yeah, okay. Uh, Vivek Nishant, I think that's a question. So Vivek, this said, I have another question. I'm a BCA graduate and MTech work integrated program from BITS Pilani. I have 6 years of experience in IT and the last CTC was some amount. I will not read your CTC openly, don't worry. Will I be allowed to attend the placement because I was told that Emertxe allow only BTech graduates to attend placements? Okay, that's an interesting question, right? So when I say BTech as a basic criteria, Vivek, right? That is when I say that, that is the latest degree what you should have obtained. Okay. So whatever you are talking about, for example, the BITS Pilani MTech program, which during my corporate days also, good number of my own friends and colleagues have done, that is recognized MTech program. Okay, so if you're doing that, I think it's an MS they call, if I'm not, or they change the name to MTech, I don't remember. But if you're doing that program, you will not have any problem. Okay, you are eligible, very much eligible, and your BCA will not create a trouble because what you done after BCA, you went and did your MTech, and then you kind of solve the challenge of qualification, educational qualification. So I don't think you will have any problem, Vivek, with respect to your placements. Hope that's clear, Vivek. What we say is BTech is a minimum graduation. In your case, since you've done an MTech with from BITS Pilani, which is, as I said, for working professionals, it's a well-known program, well recognized. So I don't see there is an issue. Okay. Let me come down. What is the difference between online and offline? We'll get into that shortly. Okay. That's next topic we need to start now. I think I will not get a chance to interact with you again, Vivek. Vivek, no problem, Vivek. I hope I answered your question. Will we get the recording of this webinar? Says Pawan. Yes, Pawan, we'll get it. Okay, our team will they'll put some header, footer, initial hi, hello. They'll cut it. Remaining as it is, they'll share it with you. Give me another few days. They will email you the link. It will be available in YouTube. Okay. I am from 2020 pass out. Could you please allow me to attend the free internship? You apply, Pawan, then we will check. As I said, internship is mainly for college grads. 2022 means you're already passed out. So you apply, we'll see. Okay. Then Abhishek Singh is asking how the online student will get hands-on on hardware. Yeah, that's a very good question. Just wait, Abhishek. Mubin section is going to extensively talk about how the hardware exposure you will get in our online course, because there's already a question coming up, right? Now we are kind of closing our initial placement related questions. Already course related questions are coming. When will I start applying for placements? How many modules should I complete? What is online? What is offline? What is the difference, right? How do we get answer to the access the hardware online? So it'll come to in the next section. Just stay tuned. Okay. Shavila say, will you provide 100% placements? Yes, we do provide. Can we get 100% placement guarantee? Yes, you can get 100% placement guarantee, right? Provided you do our assignment and projects properly. Okay. Because we still get deals, especially parents are given, parents give us deals. They come and tell us, course fee, we are ready to pay. Okay. No training. Can you give placements directly? We say no, right? Okay. So the placement guarantee we are able to really tell you because you are doing skill building, right? Focus on your assignment project, your placement is guaranteed. I would put it like that, right? Hope that is clear, Sarjan. Sir, can we do live project during the course? Yes, Sai Kiran, just wait for some time. Mubin will clarify that. And then Vivek is telling, sir, Vivek this side, I'm almost 7 years experience in semiconductor. I have basically done post-silicon validation and Windows driver development. Currently, I'm sitting idle. Want to upskill myself in embedded domain. Can you please guide whether this course will be beneficial for someone who is already has 6 to 7 years of IT experience? Yes, Vivek, it will be helpful to you. Okay, since you're on a career break, that's what I understand. You can very well take this course. We have placed students, even with a 10-year-old background, right? 2011 kind of password, and since you appear to have some valid experience in the embedded field, because I was in my one of my assignment projects I worked on a pre-silicon at a validation role I performed, basically the USB interface I have what they called as a interface bring up or a board bring up I have done. So that is a very valid experience. Even though I've done a post silicon situation, it will be valid, and this course will definitely help you to relaunch your career in embedded, no doubt about it. Okay, go for it. Okay, again, Shahjahan, right? Shahjahan is holding a gun with me, AK-47. Sir, can we get a 100% placement guarantee? I seen it on a website that Emertxe will provide 100% guarantee. I'm telling you, yes. right? How many times he's like, he's probably recording also, okay, taking a screenshot, taking a, and then say later, if I don't get placement, no, I'll play the video to people. Jokes apart, Saja, let me repeat. Our course is 100% placement guaranteed course. Okay. At the same time, the expectation is you need to work on skill building. The placement will not come just like that to you, right? You need to demonstrate the skill set. So when we say in Emertxe, you focus on your assignments and projects, be regular to the classes, your placement is 100% guaranteed. Is it clear? Sajahan is asking me with different terminologies. Okay. Vivek Nishant, hope it's clear. Okay. Then Rajasri Hazarika. So I'm an experienced in hardware design engineer. 5 years experience in the domain. Currently, I work in Texas Instrument, getting good package, but I want to switch my embedded software. Will the company coming for me judge me for that? Rajeshri, just a minute. Today, my team was asking me. Just a minute. Mm, They sent me your profile, if I'm not wrong. Okay, okay. I got it. I got it. Okay. So, Rajasri, can you do me something? I think you're talking with our counselor, Miss Pramila. Okay. She shared me today. She met me. She told me. She, in fact, shared me your resume. It's with me in my phone. Today afternoon I got it. I could not get a chance to look into it. Give me some time, at least today, max by tomorrow. You will hear an update from Pramila. Okay. If you still want to talk to me, talk to Pramila, we can get onto a phone and we can talk, because I want to look into a profile sometime. Okay, when you say you are working in TI, and she told me about certain expectations and things like that. I asked her to share the resume, which she has done it. Give me some time. Okay, I already pinned in my WhatsApp. I'll get back to you. Okay, thanks, Rajeshri, for coming in the webinar and asking the same question. Okay, the Texas Instrument immediately stuck the bell in my head. Okay. Thanks a lot for your answers. Says um, Arav. ACT has stopped recognizing MS and now started giving MTech. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. So if it is from Bitspilani MTech, that's fine. Okay. Sir, 20, then training fee again, we'll come back to your rates. So Shahjahan is telling, thank you for the response. Right? Shahjahan, don't feel bad for my blunt answer. Go for it. Focus on assignment projects. Results will come to you. Okay. Project work, again, Bamsi is asking, give me some time. Mobile will answer. Okay. Thank you for your answer, sir. I'm obliged, says Vivek. Thanks, Vivek, for asking so many questions. Amit is asking about again fee. Hang on, guys. We'll talk about the fee later. Online and offline class says asking about practical, says Rizwan. Rizwan, just hang on. We are quickly getting into the next section. Yes, I want to talk to you. It will be helpful. Yeah, Rajashri, give me some time. Let me go through your profile. Then we will, if required, I will talk in. I'll ask Pramila to get in touch with you, explain whatever we discuss. If required, we can get onto a call. No problem. Because he's asking, so how companies will hire, they will take the interviews online or offline. So as I already told you, 90%, 95% of the interview process happens online. Both the written test and the interview happens online. Only few companies ask the students to come for the final round or interview physically. Okay, the process will remain the same. I showed you so many examples, right? Like these students with Qualcomm, the entire process happened online. Okay. How to attend online classes? See, now slowly class related question coming up. It was a good session, says Pavan Raj. All right. So guys, maybe a few questions I left in the beginning, but you can see it's already 8:40. We're already running out of time. So let me move on to the second section about course. Briefly cover few slides and then hand it over to Mubin for the detailed explanation about the course. Okay. Let me go back to the course. Let me run few slides, then Mubin will cover in detail. So what are we doing? As I already said, you transform engineers with skill gap into industry ready embedded engineers. Somebody asked about the course. We have three options. One is an offline course. Offline course means you need to come to Bangalore, sit in our center, spend about 5 hours a day. The live mentor interaction will be there physically. you will be going through that. So we recommend that for freshers, and that too who are really bent on sitting in a classroom, right? But if you are a fresher, still you are comfortable online, go for online. As I already told you, our online course is more effective, I would say, these days, right? Mubin will talk about it, right? The second option is online. In the online, basically, two options are there. One is online regular and online evening. Online regular, the classes will be happening in the daytime. In the online evening, the class will be happening at 7 to 9 p.m. will be the class, and 6 to 7 p.m. will be the lab. Okay. And online regular or day batches suitable for students. Online evening, typically students are working professionals, because are the students who are in their engineering college, right? Because they need to come back home, it's 7 p.m. like 6 o'clock, assume you wind up your work 7 p.m. You'll be able to start your classes, and 6 to 7 you'll be able to attend your labs. So that's a high level. And uh, going a little bit in detail, this is how the course is structured. Pretty much remains the same. And in terms of placements, all the three courses will get 2 years of placement. In terms of placements, no differentiation. In fact, companies also don't care when you are applying for a job. They don't care whether you are an online students, online regular students, online evening students. For them, what matters is skill. If you show the skill, they're fine. Okay. And for the online student, the recorded video will be given. For the offline student, we don't provide any recorded videos. For the offline students, they'll be working real hardware, whereas online students will be following simulators. Mubin will shortly talk about it. And timings, as I mentioned, for the offline and the day students, it will be flexible, but evening students, the time is fixed. Other than that, there is a slight difference in terms of module and the duration. Okay, there is one module less in the online course, just to keep it little bit concise, because online retaining your focus for a long period is quite challenging. That's why we kept one module less. Please don't worry, that will not affect your placements. Okay. So this is about our course, and I think that's what I need to talk. I think subsequently it's all about the mainly the technical portion, how the course is going to get delivered, how the labs are going to get covered, how do you seek doubts, how do you get support, and how do we get like company specific preparation, etc., etc. There are quite a lot of parts that we need to cover next. Mubin, can you take over?
Yeah, sure, Jay.
One, let me make you the presenter.
Yeah, I think
You already have.
I already have access, I guess.
Okay, great. I'll unshare. You can share.
Sure.
Yeah, I unshare.
Okay, thank you. So let me continue with where Jay Kumar stopped. So what I'll do is I will give a brief overview about how the course gets delivered and what are the different um, aspects we cover in the course. I'll talk about it. Then also I will give a brief idea about how the support mechanism works for the online mode of training. And I'll also walk you through the LMS platform, Learning Management System platform, which will be given to students who enroll for the course. Let me share my screen. Jay, can you check? I'm not able to share my screen.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it now. Fine.
Okay. You're able to do that? Yeah, I think it's
Yes,
visible.
it's visible now, right? Okay,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
it is.
All right. So as it was mentioned by Jay Kumar, we have three basically different courses we are offering now. One is embedded systems in the online mode, other is the embedded system course in the offline mode. Plus we have embedded systems in the IoT course in the online mode as well as in the offline mode. So whichever course it is, the subjects may change, but how we deliver and what you can expect out of the course remains the same. So start off with every course will consist of different modules or subject, and each subject will comprise of following things. So on a daily basis, whoever is enrolled for the course, when you guys are enrolled for the course, you'll have to attend the class sessions, which typically runs for a duration of around 2 hours per day, 5 days a week, or sometimes 6 days a week also, depending upon the availability on Saturdays. So class will be there on a daily basis for 2 hours. Plus we'll have lab sessions, which will also run for around 1.5 to 2 hours. So in the class, the mentor, who is basically an expert in that subject, will be giving trainings for the topics which are scheduled on a module basis. And these mentors will help you, make you understand the concepts from scratch. Even if you don't have any background on the subject, that's absolutely fine. You'll be able to understand the concepts even if you don't have any background. Similarly, lab sessions are conducted. So lab is focused on how you can like implement the concepts whatever you learned in the class. For example, you should be able to do work on assignments. You should be able to complete projects based upon the module which is completed, and you'll also have like doubt clearing sessions in the lab, plus follow-up sessions related to the test which has been conducted, and so on. So class and lab both are very critical for you to understand the concepts. Plus you should be able to by attending the lab session, you should be able to complete the assignments, project, as well as get your doubts clarified. So the difference in the way difference here applies for the mode of course which you choose. If it's offline classes, we'll have like on premise, that is you have to come here, attend the class, and you have to come here and attend the lab sessions. But if it's online, this will be virtual classroom sessions, that is you have to attend a live class using a meeting application, and you'll have to attend the classes and lab as per the schedule given to you. So assignments is something which is very important, and it's like critical for anyone to make sure that whatever you have understood in the class, you're able to apply it. So we give a lot of weightage for assignments, which are mostly programming oriented. So different subjects are there, like C, you have subjects like C, you have subjects like Linux systems, microcontroller programming, data structure programming, Linux internal programming. All these subjects we'll have to implement certain set of assignments, which our mentors will explain in the lab what is the problem statement and how the assignment can be like taken forward. They'll give you some hints and some logical basically direction in terms of how to approach the solution, etc. So once you complete those assignments, the assignments will be graded. Plus you'll have to work on certain projects. So these projects are nothing but mini projects. So when you complete a module, we'll give you 1 or 2 projects which you have to submit it, and you'll be given good amount of basically support and guidance from the mentors. And similarly, you will be given assessments. One is like objective test will be there, other is you will have module test. So objective test is nothing but MCQ type of questions will be given, so that based upon the topics that are completed, you will be given the test, and we can assess you in terms of what is your level of understanding, right? So more you score, better your understanding levels. Similarly, we'll also have a module test at the end of the module, which will check your conceptual understanding, your logical skills, and your skills in terms of how you can explain a solution, for example. So many a time what happens is that people know the concept, but they are not able to explain it. So these tests will help you self-assess in terms of where you stand with respect to the understanding of the subjects. So every module will comprise of all these components which I shared now. So all these components are delivered like online as well as online, and you can access them through our learning management system. For example, you can view your assignments, projects, objective test scores, lab related activities, etc. in the learning management system. The question comes, so how do we give support? So in terms of support, for especially for the online mode of delivery, we provide you three support channels. One is we create a WhatsApp group for every batch, and whenever some student has any doubt, they can directly post it in the WhatsApp group, and they can get their doubts answered from the mentors as well as other your batchmates, for example. So this is what we encourage in general. You should ask questions, right? So that's the best way to learn. More questions you ask, better your understanding level will be. Similarly, we'll conduct you can ask your questions or doubts in the class as well as lab, and we also conduct like doubt clearing sessions after the class or lab during the lab sessions. This all will be like scheduled during the lab session, or separately it will get scheduled. So online mode of delivery, you will get multiple support channels. One is WhatsApp group, other is like you'll have doubt clearing sessions, and third one is the discussion forum in learning management system. Like you might have seen like online portals like Stack Overflow, etc., where you can post a question and somebody will be there to answer. Similarly, here also we'll be giving access to a discussion forum where you can post your queries, and definitely we will our mentors or basically other students in the same batch will be helping you with answering your questions. So this is with respect to online support. Apart from that, in terms of placements, right, everybody is keen to get placed. Now, apart from what we deliver for a subject, we also have dedicated like placement related activities, preparation activities, which are also conducted. So first thing is mock interviews. So many a time people who are not familiar with attending interviews, they find it at times challenging to attend real interviews. So what we do is that we schedule mock interviews for every student, and technical questions will be asked, and you will be graded based upon few parameters like how is your introduction, how is your communication skill, what about basically your performance with respect to the subject, etc. will be graded, and you will be given a feedback. So mock interviews definitely will help you to perform well in the real interviews. Apart from that, we have a huge database of company specific questions. So we are like we've been collecting different questions related to different companies. All these are available in our database. So whenever a new company application is floated, so before you can like attend the interview, we'll share all the questions what is available, so you can prepare for the company based upon those questions. So this will give an edge for you, so that you are much better prepared compared to others. So these questions are not publicly available, it's only available to students who take up our course. Similarly, we conduct company specific preparation test, which will also help you to prepare well for the interviews. We do conduct interview preparation sessions. So for subjects like especially like C programming, data success, etc. Many a time what happens that sometimes students forget things, right? So we have to make sure that things are like revised on a regular basis. So we do conduct interview prep sessions. You must attend those sessions, and this will also help you to brush up things, and you'll also get to know what are the common questions that are asked in interviews. Okay. So apart from that, we like for every placement company that visits us, we create a WhatsApp group for that placement company. So whenever a application is floated, we add all the students to that group, and we share like schedule information, test related information, previous entry questions, etc. in the WhatsApp. So we have a dedicated placement team who will help you right from basically right after basically applying for the placements. Will be given support in terms of how your journey will be in the placement drives. Fourth thing just want to highlight is that we have a dedicated student success team. So apart from these technical things, you may have other queries related to the course, etc. So you can get in touch with these student success representatives or executives, and you can resolve your queries. So the student success team also will share feedback in terms of your performance. So we monitor things like attendance, We also monitor things like your performance in terms of your assignments, tests, etc. So regular feedback will be given in terms of performance. So these are just to help you. It's not that we are like policing you. We just wanted to help you and try to support you and give better support so that people who are not able to perform well gets motivated and also performs well. So this is just an overview about how the course, what the course comprises of, how we give support, and what all other activities apart from course delivery we do, like placements and student success. Now let me show you an overview of how the LMS looks like from a student's perspective. So LMS is nothing but a learning management system. So I'm just accessing one of the students' logins. So here, a student when he's enrolled to a course, they will given access to a LMS system, learning management system, Emertxe LMS, wherein they will get access to individual modules or subjects. For example, you can see this is an embedded systems course dashboard, and this particular student has been enrolled to different modules like Advanced C, data structures, Linux internals, microcontrollers, C++, Linux systems, and so on. And you can also see some other additional modules. And in the dashboard, at a high level, you can see the course progress, and you can also access subject specific information. Let me click on this Advanced C, for example. So when I access this particular course, which is Advanced C, don't get scared. We teach from basics. Okay, so the course name is Advanced C because we teach the C module from basics till advanced. So it doesn't mean we are skipping the basics. We do cover the basics, but we also cover the advanced concepts. For any particular module, you will see different activities assigned to that particular student. So we will give you assignments, and attendance is also tracked. You can also give feedback with respect to mentors and how the course is being delivered. There is a discussion forum available for that specific module. So you can post your doubts, questions, etc. in the discussion forum. You'll be given quizzes, both objective as well as subjective quizzes will be there. And there will be additional resources like course materials, including PDF, source code, etc. And we have something called as virtual programming lab, wherein students can submit their assignments, and these assignments are automatically graded, right? So just a high level overview of how the learning management system looks like. So in terms of resource availability, we will be given like materials, including like PPT. So this is just an example of how the PPT looks like. Okay, all these PPTs are in like detail. From basics we teach, like even from number system, what is a number, how is it represented in different formats, like what is binary representation, what is octal representation, right? So all these slides are in much detail. Even somebody who does not have any idea, just by looking at the slide, they will able to understand some of the concepts. Especially when you attend the classes and parallelly you have the slides with you, this will definitely help. So we'll give you resources. Resources includes like slides, template codes, project related information, class recordings. For online classes, we will be given class recordings. So whenever a class or a lab session is completed, a link is generated and you can access the course videos there. So if somebody misses the class or somebody wants to revise, they can very well go to the LMS and access the class recordings as well as the lab recordings. So you can also see there is class and lab recordings also available. We also conduct follow-up test related activities. For example, somebody takes up a test, we make sure that all the questions in the test are solved as well. Okay. All right. Similarly, we have assignments. So if you look at C programming itself, there are like around 50 assignments. These are small, not very big assignments. Plus, we'll have quizzes, right? So objective test will be there. We can also see scores and so on. So that's a brief about what the LMS looks like. So what we are trying to tell you is that everything is available, accessible to you anytime, right? So even if you, let's say you want to revise certain concepts, etc., you can just log into the LMS and watch the recorded session. Similarly, all other information, including a grade, etc., is also available, right? So you can, for example, look at your grades. You can click on the grades and you can see like what are the different scores you are getting, right? And so on. Now that's about the learning management system. So in terms of support for online mode of delivery, as I told you, you will get access to a discussion forum. So this is an example of how a discussion forum looks like. This is for one of the modules called Linux systems. So you can also see students posting queries, right? So I'm just clicking on one of the questions, like classwork error in sum of CLI using some question they asked, right? So students will be posting questions or discussion forum along with screenshots, etc. You can see that answers, like even other students are answering, right? Our system administrator is also answering, solution is also given, and so apart from discussion forum, so discussion forum is available to you. It's kind of not you'll not get the answer instantly. Somebody has to look into it and you'll get answers. So if you are like very much in need of getting immediate answers, you can use WhatsApp. Okay, for example, so for every batch we create a WhatsApp group, like batch numbers are given. So, and just navigating to one of the WhatsApp group, you can see a lot of questions posted, answers given, etc. Right? So many of times student will get errors, for example, right? So this is just an example, right? So program is given, they're getting some error, command not found, etc. Right? So somebody is supporting them. So we can see a lot of discussions happening here. For every batch we create, right? We will be creating a WhatsApp group. We can post your questions. Similarly, in terms of placement companies, so I'm just showing few of them. I just pinned them so that you can have a look at it. So for example, for every company, let's say LG visits or Samsung visits, we create a WhatsApp group, right? So you can see here that messages exchange starting from like a lot of messages are there, questions are shared, right? There are questions will be asked in the interviews. So this will also help you to prepare well, right? Students, whenever they attend the interview, they post their questions. You can also see updates in terms of who is getting placed, right? So for example, our placement head is posting a message, right? Congratulations, you've been selected, etc. We'll also check whenever, for example, right? Meeting like interview updates are given, timings are being shared, right? So these people have interview at 4:30 and so on. So every company that visits our campus, we create a placement WhatsApp group, and all communication happens through this, right? Similarly, you can see Samsung is there, right? We ask them to prepare. So there have been updates, right? What kind of questions are there? Okay, people are posting the updates, right? Questions will be asked. So interviews, this Samsung, for example, interviews for 2 hours, interview asked about projects in depth. He asked me to do 3 programs and so on. So this about placement WhatsApp group. So we will create this group so that communication is streamlined. You'll also get updates related to the questions and any conversion, etc. will be posted. So that's about the LMS and course related information. So many a time people ask us like how the online courses are delivered. So I'll share 2 snippets of the actual classes which are delivered. So you can watch these recorded videos to get an idea how the online classes are delivered. So one is for the C programming module, another one is for the uh, microcontroller module, wherein the hardware part is delivered using a simulator, PixSim Lab. So you can watch these videos, you'll get an idea how the classes are delivered in the online mode. So let me play the video for C programming, wherein a topic called arrays are explained.
These are the total memory allocated. Now, After an array is been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume this is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? If the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? Assume this is 1000. Where will be the next element present? Yes. Each of the element uses 4 bytes. So it is 1004, then 1008, 1012, 1016. To access the array's element, you have to go with something called as the index number. An index number varies between 0 to size minus 1. So very first element will be in index 0, second element will be in index 1, third element will be in index 2, fourth element will be in index 3, and fifth element will be in index 4. Okay. If you just declare the array like this, the array's element will have garbage value by default. So in order to not have a garbage value present inside the memory block, maybe I want certain values to made sit inside it. In such cases, I have to do the array's initialization. To initialize the array, here inside the curly braces, I have to give 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. In that case, that value will be written here. That will be 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, this is how I declare the array. This is how I do the initialization, and this is how the memory for the array will be allocated. Accessing happens with respect to the index number varying between 0 to size minus 1. See here, data type, name, size, where size represents the number of elements. So the total memory occupied by the array is number of elements multiplied by size of an element. That is in turn size into size of the data type. If this is the array I'm going to take of 5 size with the values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, this will be the array. So the very starting address of the array always is called as the base address of the array. This address 1000 will always be called as the base address of the array, or you can also call it as starting address or address of the very first element of the array. All of them means the same, but we usually refer it as base address. Okay, you can call it as base address, or you can call it as the starting address, or you also can call it as the address of first element. Okay, the starting address is called as the base address or starting address or address of the first element of the array. So then it is plus 4, plus 8, plus 12, plus 16. Index has to vary between 0 to size minus 1. So it has to be starting from 0. An array is a collection of similar data type. Elements occupy consecutive memory locations. First element will be in the lowest address and last element will be in the highest address. elements are indexed from 0 to size minus 1. So if the size of the array is 5, index will vary from 0 to 4. Accessing out of the range array elements would be an illegal access. So whenever you have to access the elements of the array, you have to go with the name of the array, then the index number. Okay. So array of 0, array of 1, like this, you have to go with the index number. So if the index number varies between 0 to 4, I can access only between array of 0 to array of 4. Out of the boundary, that is accessing array of -1 or accessing array of 5 is not allowed. It is an illegal access where you might get to see a error. So accessing out of the range array elements would be illegal access. You should not access the elements in array of -1 and array of size. And once the memory for the array is allocated, it can never be altered in the runtime. That is, while executing the program, the array size can never be modified. So if you declare an array like this, it will be 20 bytes of memory allocated for sure. So this size can never be altered throughout the program. Again, here in double denum of size 6, there will be 48 continuous bytes already allocated. You never get a chance to increase or decrease the size once it has been allocated. So this is the concept of array. Clear this much? Okay. So have this one noted. The next we will see is how to print the elements of the array. Okay. So there are different ways of printing the array's element, which we will be seeing shortly. Before that, have this one noted. So the next we have got is to print the array's element. So when you are supposed to print the array's element, we usually go with the name of the array and the index number. But that has to be done on a repetitive manner. So what is it necessary to be used? What is it necessary to be used if I have to print? Yes, loop is definitely necessary. So I can print the array's element in any of a loop considered. Observe. Okay. So first I try printing it in a for loop. Int array of size 5. I also do the initialization with 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. I need another integer variable I for the sake of index. So I will first say it as printf arrays elements are. Okay. So I run a for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus, because 5 is the size of the array. Inside this, I go with the printf. Sorry. Yeah, so printf %d \n comma array's name with index. Okay, so first array of 0 will be printed when I will have a 0 taken, then array of 1, then array of 2, array of 3, array of 4. When I becomes 5, 5 lesser than 5 will be condition false. You come out of the for loop. Observe the output here. So I'm compiling and executing. These are the array's element which I am printing using a for loop. Let me change this.
Alright, so that was a snapshot of how the online course was delivered for a topic called arrays in C. So please note that we have just edited this video. In fact, in between the class itself, we can ask questions and doubts will get clarified by the mentor. So let me share another video of how the module is taken for microcontroller modules. Many of you have doubts regarding this. Like in terms of microcontroller module, which is one of the important modules for embedded systems course. So for offline, we use a physical hardware, and we can work on the hardware, and you can flash the program onto the hardware and see the output visibly. Now, in terms of online mode, instead of using the hardware, we will use a simulator called as PixSimLab. So this simulator is like works like a full-fledged hardware. Only thing is, it's not a real hardware. But whatever programs you write and run for real hardware will work exactly the same on the simulator as well. So many of you had this query, so I just wanted to answer that. So in terms of online versus offline mode, there is not much difference. In fact, you get an advantage here with respect to online mode, is that you get recorded sessions, and you get a simulator, and using the simulator we can do a lot of basically assignments and project, which even if you have the hardware, you will not be able to like purchase all the real sensors, etc. But with this simulator, you can connect as many sensors as you want, and you can do a lot of programs on the PixSimLab simulator. So I'll just share you a demo video of how the simulator looks like and how the program output can be seen on a simulator. So I can see some questions coming up. Maybe after this video, I'll start answering those questions.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. In today's class, let's see how we can write an embedded program to toggle the LEDs connected to the board bill. So now to write the embedded program, we are going to use the tool MPLAB XID. So you can see here. So this is the MPLAB XID. If you open this, you will see this as a starting page. So some projects are mentioned here, datasheet is available here. Even if you worked on some recent project, that list is available. See, and even you will get the microchip login. So if you have a login ID password, you do the login, and you can do the purchase on a microchip website, right? Okay, so now let me go back to the question. So question was, we wanted to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. So now here in this MPLAB ID, you can see these are the different tools available. So we can use these tools as per the requirement. For example, this is to create a new file. It's to create a new project. It is to open the project. This option is to do the build. You can see different many options are there. So as per the need, what we will do, we will take an approach. Whatever we need it, we will start using those things. Now here in this MPLAB XID, I already created a project and kept it ready. So project name is what? LEDs. So in this project, I created. So when this project is created, this MPLAB XID create some organized sections. You can see here. So now to write this program, to write the embedded code, we need a main.c. So generally .c files goes here in this source file sections. Header files goes here, make file will go here, linker script will go to this section. Or if you need any libraries, if you are planning to add any libraries, then those goes into this section. And finally, this is the place for your executable file. So let me go to the main.c. So you can double click and open the main.c in the editor window. So now you can see I'm defining two macros. So instead of using port D directly, so what I did, since if you see the hardware on the hardware, so you are having total 16 LEDs. So this is the PixSimLab simulator board. So it's having total 16 LEDs. So currently we are going to toggle LEDs connected to the port D. These are the these are the 8 LEDs out of 16. So these 8 LED array we are going to toggle. Toggling means on off we are going to do. So now, since I'm having 8 LEDs, I'm defining the micro LED array as a port D, and to give the direction to the port pins, there is a register TRISD. I'm defining that with name LED array data direction register. Now you can see here comes my main. So here I'm calling init config function. So this function is to do the initialization. So what we are doing? So in main itself, we are not doing initialization. It doesn't look good. So there is a separate dedicated function to do the initialization. It is init config. So control will go here and here in this init config. So initially what we are doing, if we are using LED, we need to set the pin direction as output. So I'm writing my LED array data direction register as a 0. It will set port D pin as the output, and to start with initially I will keep all LEDs connected to the port D as a off. So to turn off the LED, I need to load 0. So I'm writing here 0. So LEDs remain off, fine. And here comes our while one. So if you see any embedded system, once you turn on the embedded system, it runs forever, right? It goes into infinite loop. So here come my infinite loop while one. So inside this while one, we are going to write our application. So what is our application? We wanted to toggle the LED. So here is my instruction to toggle the LED. So I'm writing LED array equal to tilt of LED array. So what it will do? It will toggle the values of this LED array. If it is 0, it will make it 1. If it is 1, it will make it 0. So now you can see. So this is what 0x00. So after execution of this instruction, this LED array value becomes 0xFF. So entire port becomes 0xFF. All port bits become 1. So all LED turn on. LEDs are going to be turned on. And here what I'm doing. So before going to this instruction once again, I'm putting the delay. So if this delay is not there, what happens? We will not be able to see the LED toggling. So it will happen at very fast rate. Due to the persistence of vision, we will not be able to capture it. So I added the delay. Then after this delay, what happened? Next time, since we are in the while one, control will go back here. So again, we are changing the LED array value from what? FF to 0. So now what happened? LED become off, then again delay. So like this way, we are making LEDs on, LEDs off. Fine. Now. So we have to build the code. We have to compile the code. How we can do? So here in this mplab xid, I install x8 compiler. So that's why this header file is also included related to the compiler. So now how you can do the build? So you can see here is one option to do the build. So let me click on that. It will start doing build. My project is getting a build. Now you can see build is going on. So it will take some time. Please wait. Now see, build is successful. That means your hex file is created, and even it will give you the memory summary of your project. So now my hex file is created and it is loaded also. Now what we can do? So we can load that hex file where in this board. So we can run that hex file here in this microcontroller. So this is the heart of this board. So basically here we are using PIC16F877A microcontroller. So we are going to load the hex file here. How? So you can go to the file, you can select the load hex, and you have to navigate wherever your project is stored. So let me navigate. So now, just for the sake of simplicity, I kept the project on the desktop. So let me select that. Now again, you have to go to the distribute directory. So basically, you have to use this path. After build successful, it is prompting the path where X file is available. I'm just referring that. Then you have to go to the default production. Here is the X file. Let me open. Okay, expected output is what? These LEDs should toggle, but it's not happening. Why? Because these DIP switch related settings are not done. So to turn on the LEDs connected to the port D, this DIP switch, second one, you have to pull this switch up. So let me do that. So it's down. You have to pull it up. So let me select. Now you can see the change here. So what this program is doing, it's running in this microcontroller, and it is toggling the LEDs, and even we are able to see the toggling very clearly, right? Okay, so this is our program, our embedded code to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. Fine.
All right. I hope you got an idea of how the online classes are taken for microcontroller module, which comprises of PIC SimLab simulator. And using this simulator, you can write any microcontroller program for the PIC microcontroller, and you will be able to see the output on the simulator. So if you have any questions, you can post in the chat box, question box. We'll answer it now. Yeah, I think we have few questions related to LMS. I think multiple people asked this question. Is LMS available for offline students? Yes. I think this was one of the questions which was posted. LMS access is given to online students as well as offline students. The only difference is that for online students, they will be given course recordings, whereas for offline students, we will not be providing course recordings because they are attending the session face to face. So what is the validity of the LMS? Typically, it will be available for like we don't disable it often, but around we can say minimum 1 year, you will be getting the access for the LMS. All right, any other question you have? Okay. So is there any possibility of having a weekend batch in the future? Sai Arun is asking. So as of now, we don't have weekend batches. So for working professionals and people who are like not working, we have classes scheduled during like 9 to 6, that's the time. But for working professionals, we have classes scheduled at post 6 p.m. India time. Whereas weekend batches are not available as of now. So I think there are questions related to interview happening online or offline. So it depends actually, but most of the companies are preferring online mode now. And there are few companies are very particular. They want the attendees to come and visit their office to take the interview. But majority of the companies are taking the interviews as well as test in the online mode as of now. Okay, so one question from Akash, how many hours post-class must be dedicated for assignments and project? So I'm preparing for civil services and I need to engage both. I wanted to know what span of time must be provided every day for course. So if you look at on a regular basis, we are spending 2 hours in the class plus maybe another 1.5 to 2 hours in the lab. So what we expect is that majority of the things we should be able to complete during the lab time. Post like class and lab, based upon the number of assignments you have. For example, we say at least 2 to 3 hours you should be spending on a daily basis so that you are able to complete the assignments and you're able to revise the concepts. Rizwana Rahat is asking, can offline students use the simulator? Yes, offline students can use the simulator, but since they have access to the real hardware, usually they don't use it. Okay, but simulator can be used by anybody. Vivek Nishant is asking, so I'm an experienced guy, but I want to join the regular batch. That's also fine, Vivek. If you're able to attend the regular batch, that is well and good. I see the PPT, it's mentioned only for freshers. I don't know what you mean. Maybe you saw the topic name, the chapter name was basic refresher. It was not freshers. The chapter name was basic refresher.
No. I think he is referring to the PPT. In PPT, what we said is like in the offline courses, it is more suitable for freshers because they have the time availability. That is a recommendation from our side. Right? For
I didn't
working
get it.
professional. Now, what I think Rizwan is telling is that like in our PPT, in the offline student, we have said it is for freshers.
Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. So the
It is
mode of
because of that.
delivery is asking.
Yeah,
Okay, Vivek Nishant is asking. I'm experienced guy, but want to join the regular class. So experienced folks, since they're working, we recommend them to join the evening batch. But if you are available to attend the regular batch, we don't have any issues because whatever we deliver for the regular batch, the same thing gets delivered for the working professionals, which is scheduled in the evening batch. So as such, in terms of what we deliver, there is no difference. So if you are available during the regular timings, you can attend the regular batch as well. No issues. You want to continue, Jay?
Yeah. So just a minute, let me.
Few more questions are there.
Yeah, I think another question coming from Akash saying that joining an evening batch working professional have any disadvantage with respect to freshers compared to online batch. See, as Mubin mentioned, guys, we have three mode of courses. One is the offline class where you come to the physical classroom and then learn it. Then online regular class where the classes will be happening in the morning time. Online evening batch where the classes will be happening in the evening, right? Online versus online, offline, things like that. So whatever we put in, for example, whether it's a fresher or a working professional or a college graduate, that is based on our experience and our recommendation. We suggest that. Okay. By no means it is telling that you cannot come to other batch or something like that. That is point number one. For example, if you are a working professional and you are working on a shift basis, because we get students who work in, let us say, in night shifts, right, or evening shifts, they can come and take up a physical online course from morning to evening, let us say, no problem. In fact, we had many students who done that. Okay. Similarly, we say some of the fresh engineers who want to prefer an evening class, vice versa. So whatever the choice that you wanted to take, you can take. From our side, there is no issue. Whatever you saw in the slide was the recommendation of our side. What we have seen largely the students taking. That's all. And with respect to neither the course delivery nor in terms of placements, there's no difference. Hope it is clear. Akash, Vivek. You can choose any batch. Okay. As long as you are able to do justice to it, you are able to spend the required amount of time, whether you are a student, working professional, or a fresher, we are fine. We don't have any problem. Akash, Rizwan, Vivek, hope it's clear. Okay. All right. Mubin, can you take over?
Yeah, sure. I think there are some 2 or 3 questions which are unanswered. You can have a look.
Yeah, let me check that. So let me take few questions and then I will share my screen once again. Anyways, I also have few things left just to show the placement process. So I have had 2 year backs during my engineering course. I graduated in 2021 with 6.5 CGPA. Post that I have worked only for a month as a researcher. Considering a huge gap, will I be placed, assuming I learned well? Says Madhav Manjunath. See, Madhav Manjunath, I don't know why the year gap, right? Why you had year backs in your engineering college? Whatsoever may be the reason. Typically, this question come up in the later point of the interview. Typically, when you go for a management round or when you move for a HR round, these questions will come up because during the written test or during your technical interview, these questions generally don't come. Okay. So during those later round of interviews, they may ask these questions. And our unified answer that we tell to all our students is be transparent. Whatever may be the reason, just tell it frankly. Whether you had some personal issues, health issues, or you were not focused on your studies, or you had some family problem which you need to attend to, whatever could be the reason. Whatever it is, just tell on the tell in a very open and transparent manner. That would help. But I don't think that only will be a factor of you getting selected or rejected, because the selection rejection based on lot of criteria, according to us, largely depends on your skill set and how you are able to perform by demonstrating those skill set in the written test or interview. So I don't see any issues from our side. I don't think major issue, as long as you said, as long as you are learning well in our course, I don't see it is becoming an issue. Yes, the question may pop up in the technique or the later round of interview. Just give a open and honest answer. That should take care. Is it clear, Madhav? Okay. Yes, sir. Yes. Let me check if any questions are there. Yes. Yeah, project related things, LMS, weekend batch, online, offline. All right. Okay. Is there any more questions? I think it's already 9:30. I know it's taking long. As I initially mentioned, it generally takes mainly due to the Q&As, and that you guys ask. Okay. Let me open my slide and I explain the last, the placement process point of view. Then, we can move to the closure and answer, more questions that you guys may have. Hope my screen is visible. Can you just confirm once? Is my screen visible? All right, yeah, thanks, Shafi. So coming back, right, we covered, if you see, largely two major chunks we covered. One chunk was about the high level, we covered about the market trends. Then subsequently we saw how the market trends are translating into placement opportunities and how our students are converting that opportunity into real jobs. And we saw snapshot of various permutation and combination of students, right? Like, fresher, older batch, year gap, working professional, people with a career break, etc., right? And mechanical engineers, means people from a non-circuit branch, etc., right? We saw all those permutation combination. Okay. Then we moved on to the technical side of it, and we looked into the way Mubin mainly covered about how the course gets delivered to you in terms of your classes, labs, and mainly what sort of support mechanisms you have in terms of your chat, doubt clearing, placement related group, etc., etc. Right. So that's pretty much what we do in a webinar. But before we close, I'll just want to add one more, couple of more points. One is the Google group walkthrough and our course dates and our counseling team's contact details. Then we are done. Last few minutes. Of course, we can still stay on if you have questions, right? So this is the Google group that I was talking about. Once you join our course, you will be automatically added to this particular group. Our team will add you. So here you can see the entire placement messaging is happening, right? You might have seen some messaging in our social media, in our website, and all that comes with little bit of delay because the placement team need to update the website team and they need to publish, etc. This is like a live channel. Like whatever is happening on a particular day, it comes up. So let us say today, right? Today you can see from morning 9:30 the congratulations message what Mubin has shown. Then you can see some applications newly got floated. Then some shortlisting has happened. Again, one more application got floated. Again, some online interview. Then new companies have updated. So you can see right from morning 9:30 all the way up to evening 6:30. There's a lot of such messages are coming, right? Every day, except there is a holiday or a weekend, right? Every day you can see there are so many messages that are coming up. So let me just probably show one or two applications and see how it looks, because people wanted to know how an application will look like. This is how it looks. You can see I'm just showing an example of Qualcomm, the company name. Then I'm giving you the modules that somebody should do. And you can see, right, they are open to consider these branches, right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 can apply. And then, we just put it as a 10.5 because it's an old number. But as you can see, the students are cracking 20 plus LPS, right? No bond. Then how the selection process will be. It'll be virtual or online mode, and job location would be Bangalore. And there is a cutoff date that is given, and there is a form to apply. So this is how you can apply. And once you apply, similarly you can see many other applications. So let us say, for example, there is some company called Digital Shark. There's no bond here, right? There's relatively lesser salary, around 3.3 to 3.6, and that company is selling, right, no era password criteria, anybody can apply. Okay, this type of companies come. And majority of them, if you look at, for example, Siemens today has got floated, right, 65% in highest. These are all the era passwords, right? So around 4.8 is the salary that we are talking about. Similarly, Siemens EDA, the erstwhile Mentor Graphics, right, similar thing, right, around 3.6 to 6 lakh is the range of salary, right? So like that, again, Continental came in the evening, right? You can see here the modules, era password, percentage, 60% throughout they're asking, right? And then salary is 7 lakhs. So the entire information is shared to you in an open and transparent manner. Subsequently, whatever Mubin has demonstrated, the the uh, the the Google group comes into picture. Sorry, WhatsApp group comes into picture, where the entire conversation happens, the preparation, the coaching, sharing. But somebody attended the interview, they share the information. Our placement team works. Because the challenge is we have students from all the batches, right? Online batches, offline batches, online evening batches, etc. So we created that WhatsApp as a additional support to whatever you are seeing in the screen, so that you are well supported. Okay. So entire throughout the channel, our placement team will closely work with you. Time to time, of course, our mentor team will come and pitch in terms of mock interviews or helping you with any technical help, etc., to ensure that the placement process is smooth. Okay, so this is a Google group which will be part of. Then moving on, basically that's what the placement process, Google group, etc., etc. And other point is, like, basically Emertxe is a affiliated training institute with the Skill India, which is under National Skill Development Corporation. We have a organization called Electronic Skill Sector Council of India, where all our students go through a certification exam and they get certificate from the central government. Okay, so that's a level 5 certification, where students do get certification from the Skill India, and the Government of India Entrepreneurship and Skill Development. It's a level 5 certification which is quite valuable. Okay. And coming to the last part, course dates. So these are all the courses planned for October 27th. I think that's day after tomorrow is when the offline course is being planned. And 29th, we are planning online regular. And November 2nd, we are planning the online evening. Okay, these are the dates. And all the queries related to the fee, you can reach out to our counseling team, training at Emertxe, or these are the two numbers. You can email them, call them up, and then get the detail. They'll be more than glad to inform you about the course dates, fees, scholarships, etc. Please reach out to our counseling team. Okay. And this is our coordinates. If you are in Bangalore, we are based in MG Road, and we are quite active in 2 social media channels, LinkedIn and Instagram. So please do follow us. A lot of updates, day-to-day update we post. Hope some of you are following us in any of these social media. Can you just type which channel you are following, Insta or LinkedIn? Or if you are not following, you can just say no, so that I'll get to know whether you already know us or not. Let me see. Okay, Rizwan is telling Instagram, Sai Arun is telling LinkedIn, Rupa is telling no. So Rupa, in that case, please do follow Emertxe IT, a very easy handle to look up both in Insta and LinkedIn. Same as Vincent. You can see the URLs. Just follow us. Our team keep posting. Vivek is telling LinkedIn, great. Okay, so we'll keep on posting them. All the updates come to the social media. So that's it, guys. We have come to the end of the presentation. So I always conclude this particular webinar with a note called welcome. So when I say welcome to the possibilities of the future. Okay, because we started with the trends, right, where the industry is heading toward digitization, automation, robotics, Industry 4.0, electric vehicle, and etc. So these are all not something which can be built with a very shallow technical expertise. This requires quite a deep expertise. That's what our course provides to engineers, to make them hands-on, to make them skilled and make them employable and achieve the results whatever we demonstrated as a snapshot in this initial part of the webinar. Okay, and I sincerely hope this webinar has given all the necessary information that you have requested for. Can I get some feedback? How did you find this session? Did it clarify your queries? I'm seeing already a response from Vivek. Thanks for this great session full of questions and doubts. Okay, joining on 29th October. Okay, thanks Vivek. So please get in touch with our counseling team. They manage batches, admission procedures, everything. They'll help you. And we also have an admit team who takes care of the payment, receipts, etc. They'll help you. We have a team in place. They'll take care. Can you get some quick feedback? How did you find today's webinar? Did it help you clarify your doubts, queries? I know it's 9:45 today. Clarified many doubts, says Akash. Nice and exhaustive session, says Vincent. Yeah, it's exhaustive. 2 hours 45 minutes is not a joke. Found the webinar very useful. Thank you, says Madhav. Thank you, Madhav. Excellent, says Shafiullah. Welcome, Shafi. Any other feedback, questions you may have? Anyways, as I said, we will share this recorded version. You can go through it once again, or you believe that this will be useful to your friend or somebody in your network. Please feel free to circulate. Right? Please answer this question: what if the student not able to attend offline class because of some reason? How the student can cover the left class, sir? Says Rizwan. That's pretty hard because we don't give a recorded session. Generally, Rizwan, whether it's online or offline, we don't recommend you be away from the class because it's all hands-on practical sessions where we expect you to be present all the time. Okay? Yeah, attendance is very, very important. Okay? In worst case, in an offline, if you are missed few sessions, you can reach out to a student support team. They will see what can be done about it. If there is let us say you missed like 2-3 classes, if there is similar batches going on, only you can attend there, or you can cover up in the lab. They will suggest you accordingly. Okay, but we don't recommend you being absent. That's upfront answer to that. This one. Thank you for your patience, sir, says Sai Sharanya. Okay, welcome. Because I know more than slides. See, for us also, that's the enjoyable part, if you ask me. Because slides remain the same for me and Mubin, right? Every time same. I think maybe some placement data update and some course data update. Pretty much it remains the same. Some student record is different every time, but pretty much what makes us motivated, what makes for us to sit till 9:50 and discuss is the questions that you ask. So credit goes to you people. Okay, Likit says it was very informative, thanks. Are there any notes for any session attended? I don't know. Notes means like material resources, handwritten notes. I'm not getting, Vincent. If you can explain me a little bit more detail, but all the resources will be provided. For example, the related handouts, ebooks, whatever is the material will be provided. That's what I understand. Rizwan is telling, thank you, sir. Okay, all right. Is there any other questions, guys? Materials and handouts. So it will be given wherever, whatever is required. And by the way, Vincent, we are not very fond of giving you with big booklets and all. Okay, some places you go, right, they'll give big booklets. So we give whatever is required. So pretty much we give it in digital format, and we are not very great this thing of textbooks, right? Big textbook we don't give. Whatever is required, whether it is a handout, data sheets, project requirement specification, or just if you just as an open thing, right? Like we share this information in every webinar. Just go to emertxe.com. Just as open our course where hyphen embedded systems, if you just type. In fact, it's not necessary that you need to join the course to access the materials, right? If you just come here, the entire material is here. For example, Mubin showed about the C programming, right? Just go here, click on course materials, right? you'll find everything here. For example, there's text, what is the course, the entire slide deck here. You see, right? 424 slides are there, what Mubin has just shown. And then all the related reference materials, PDFs. And if you want to buy still, we given the e-commerce link. Let us say this book, if you wanted to buy, just click and then you can go to the Flipkart or Amazon just for you to buy if you're really bent on buying. But apart from that, we don't really recommend buying any books. And these courses, these materials are available online. Even as I said, right, if you believe if we can help you or your friends, and somebody asked about projects, right? Like let us say we go to microcontrollers, click on these industry projects. Okay, you'll find the entire materials here. Okay, and what will be taught, some in fact, our mentors would have updated on top of this, but this is something which we made it available for all the community. Anybody who want to learn, they can go through this and then learn. You can see, right, project, all the related documents, everything will be given to you, Vincent. Okay. If the student is taken admission in offline mode, and can it be changed to online? This one, yeah, it's technically it's possible. But again, right, we don't recommend that. Whatever mode you've chosen, continue that, because the online mode of delivery and offline mode of delivery is different, even though content, everything is same, right? Because we, as I said, we don't have any problem. You shift from, some people will ask ulta, sir, I came for online, can I come to offline, right? You can do that. But as a learner, you will be a little bit difficult to cope up with a different learning model. So if you're online, go completely online. If you're offline, completely go offline, because you feel comfortable, because the mode of delivery will be different. Sitting in a physical classroom versus attending this online class is very different, right? So we don't recommend you switching, but yeah, technically if you really want to do it, we can help you with that. Okay, this one is all asking corner questions, right? That's fine, no problem. Okay, what if I'm absent, right? How do we cover up, how do we switch between online and offline? That's fine, Rizwan, that's fine. Really appreciate the spirit in which you're asking. Okay, so, all right, guys, I think it's 9:50. I know I'm standing between you and your dinner. As I said, some of you are still celebrating Diwali in your hometown, right? So I wanted to pause here. So thank you very much for your valuable time attending this webinar. This recorded version will reach you. So please go through that. If you still have any questions, reach out to our counseling team. They will be, definitely doing the needful. Okay. And finally, the silver bullet of the webinar, right? Okay. I tell people, this webinar is more of you to educate yourself. Right? We are not telling that, oh, now that you attended the webinar, some webinar you attended, they'll be bullying you. Oh, join the course, right? We are not the type of people. Our idea is to give the information and present the facts and let you decide, because you are the ultimate decision maker of your career. Neither I can make nor Mubin can make, right? But whatever decision you make, right, okay, stick to it, give your 100%, results will come. Okay, so this webinar is to educate yourself, give you the information and let you decide, because you are the ultimate judge for your career. And whatever decision you make, whether you join this course, join other course, or do some self-learning, whatever you maybe do, okay, I wish you all the very best. Give your 100%, whatever you choose, give your 100%, results will come to you. Okay, so thank you very much, take care, see you later in those future webinars. Bye.